And shares going, all that good stuff. Gotta post a couple of teams. Okay, this thing finally at least downloaded part of it. Okay, that's ready to download, which I already did. And then this one. Keep on tapping, get the shares going. We about to get this thing cracking. Heck of a song y'all haven't heard played in a long time. Let me show y'all something real quick. It's a song for y'all. Okay. Remember that. Had my little intro song, man. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let's go ahead and run that back again. What's good? Been since we kids. Let's get it. 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 And it's the beginning of the week. Also want the day. I want the beginning of that week better you have. We tired of y'all getting tripped out here. Listen up. Keep it bustin'. Can't believe his discussion. He don't do bustin' and cussin'. Drop you, there's no repercussion. Listen to tussin'. They sleep. They not move so they can't see the hypocrisy and the philosophy that they speak to. You have an agenda. Are you really real or just a pretender? Are you trying to deliver the message or return it back to sender? All right, so we about to get on to the topic. I'm going to go ahead and warm it up real quick. Go ahead and warm it up real quick. That thing not even saying Yes, I don't know what that. I want y'all to really pay attention to the ones that want to act like they want to have a conversation, but they spend most of their time expressing themselves. That's not how a conversation works. Say RDS RSD is a sensitive dysphoria. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so there's many different things on here. So with this topic, we have to realize, why do we want to be accepted? What are the reasons? Who we want to be accepted by, and how, what are we trying to get out this exception? I think that's one of the biggest things that we had an issue with since we were younger. Not even an issue. It's just that I get it, as you're young, we don't like rejection. We want to fit in. We want to feel the parts. We don't want to feel left out. But I think it gets to a time in life where we have to kind of grow from that and realize who we really setting ourselves up to be around. Who we trying to be like. Who do we idolize? Why do we idolize it? Why do we choose these lifestyles that we have and stuff? So overall, we got to ask ourselves, why do we want to be accepted? Is it really helping us move forward? Or is it setting us back, trying to be accepted by whoever? What about this personal life or these group lifestyle that make me want to be accepted? And the thing is, we can go with the bailout and say, nah, I don't care about being accepted, but we do, because we care about what people say about us and how they feel about us and stuff. We care about people, down talking us, calling us lame and all that stuff. That's why I got that on there. What is lame? What is cool? And I noticed that us living up to the popular and trying to not have that feeling of not being the same. That's just one of the biggest issues we have in today. That's why we try to fit in. That's why we wear hats and stuff. That's why we wear makeup. Well, not we, but women. That's why they wear makeup and stuff or whatever. They're trying to fit in and look like the rest of the part. They don't know about being different though, and we stressing because we're not looking like the rest. We're not seen as the rest. It's all about trying to be popular. You ever notice that the most popular people have the hardest time in life? You ever notice that just because they set this thing and then they got to keep up with this thing, because if they don't keep up with it, they're going to be looked at as less than. You ever notice that? And then one big thing is about the family, the race, the culture, the religions, all that stuff. Why why is loyalty such a big thing? That's something I kind of just looked at it on that though. I realized loyalty, it sound good, it feel good, but then again, it's good for a mission, but then on a personal note, loyalty can be damaging also. Um, so you can be loyal to the things that's actually, like I said, this is how you differ things if it's setting you back or moving you forward. Just because you're loyal to it, that doesn't mean that it's helping you out in your real life. And you only got your life. You only got your life. You only one person. So it's like, all right, these things that I'm loyal to, is it helping me be a better person? You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about that though. So yeah, we gotta realize like, why are we loyal to these things? Why I gotta be, my race? Why I gotta be so loyal to my race now? We fear the consequence of people saying or they shunning us like you're not part of our group. That's why they call us names and stuff, and I get it. Cuz in the building. What up, man? You back to this side of TikTok. Welcome, welcome. It's like I'm the neutral side. Some people far left, far right. I ain't gonna lie, that room I was in yesterday with you, I had to try my best to not be me in here. I said, let me stay on topic, man, because I realized I pay attention. I actually pay attention to that room. I'd be like, I just gone ahead and speak my piece. I was bored. Speak my piece. Let it be known that it is seen. You know, I ain't want to be accepted. Speaking of the topic, I ain't worried about being accepted though. But I can say that I can actually validate how people's point of view is. Uh, like I said, I believe on every side or whatever they have a good point of view. It goes back to the topic I was talking about yesterday about um fence riding and being neutral. It's okay to be neutral. But my thing is just don't go against your principles that you say you stand on. You don't give leeway to one side and then be harsh on the other side. I think that it will never help people in real life. It just won't. If one side feel like they're innocent and the next don't. That's why I'm so big on accountability myself. Because I always want to tell people what part are you playing. As long as you keep pointing that finger, you ain't gonna change the finger you pointing. It just never work on that end though. But like I said, it goes back to the acceptance. Where it go back to like all this stuff be the same exact stuff, but it just it's a base to it. I always believe like confidence is why a lot of us is where we at though, because we're not confident in ourselves. We're only confident enough of what other present to us. You know what I'm saying? We only the fact that even with this topic feeling accepted, that we feel like that's what make us confident. But it's like, why do that make you confident? Because somebody accepts you. Oh, cool, you part of our group now, or oh, you a real one, and all this other stuff, and you got to live up to this name, this label, and stuff. All I'm saying, if you living up to this label and it's stressing you out at the same time, I think you want to change that up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we got to talk about that because, like all this stuff, you notice that all these topics are kind of based around confidence is always going to be there. I think confidence is our biggest issue today, because we had to base our confidence on outside sources so long since we were young, and now we really don't even know how to get back to it now that we older and stuff. That's the reason why we looking to be accepted. Speaking of the topic again, so all this stuff is a circle. All this stuff is always going to be the base and the same. It's the same thing, but once we figure it out and start going about down our own path, because sometimes like I say, come with that. Who are your people? And this thing is, we be loyal to, even this first prompt, the race, the culture, and religion and stuff. We don't know why we loyal to it. You know what I'm saying? We stressing ourselves out to do it because we don't understand it. We don't understand why should we? Why is it so important? Because I don't want to disappoint somebody. But it's like you're disappointing the person that's already ready to be disappointed in you already. So did they really, want you for you or cared about you for who you are? Or was it a selfish thing because you're not living up to what they want you to live up to? So you got to really think about that. What's up, y'all, before I talk over the thing? What's up, y'all?
What's up, man?
What up, man?
Big Sean in the building. What's happening, player?
Big
What
Shaw.
up? What up? What up?
What
Hey,
up,
hey,
man? Don't
listen.
let me bring my man's here and piss you off again.
Hey, I know, huh? Hey, hey, yesterday, man, listen, I'm over there a lot, and I'm gonna tell you what, it's
Yeah, I
similar
know.
to, you know, like a classic you know what I mean, but on the other side, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
you have, as long as, you stick on the topic and don't, it'd be cool. They, should disagree there, they'll
Mm-hmm.
go back and forth and give you, and it'd be all good. And then you have the extreme where sometimes you go to them panels and it just be like just man haters, or you know what I mean. I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't do that. That's too much. But like there, you're gonna get a good conversation at least. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I
that's
see.
really
Yeah, I
what
be
it's gonna
seeing you a
be.
lot every morning. I see you over there a lot of
Hmm.
times. I just said, let me just step in here just to see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah,
And
that is so hard. I did want to. I tried my best. I was like, let me stick to the topic. I even learned that from I know Sean mentioned that a few times about people just they don't stick to the topic and stuff. That be the issue. Because I was like,
right,
man, as much as I be on it, just because but I said I can't be me. I said I'm big on accountability. Let me just stick with this topic and validate their
right,
topic because it is true in the topic. You know what I'm saying? It's still truth in it. Even
right,
divestors, they have truth. You know
right.
what I'm saying? I think it's my internal thing. It irritates me when people can't take it because you will never change as long as you keep addressing something outside of yourself. That's probably why my platform the way it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Because I want people to everything you notice is always going to go right back to self. I don't really talk about blaming people. I just don't.
right. And that's the
Yeah,
thing, right? It's
but
like you were just saying, man, like if you stick to your principles,
yep,
like for me, it's like, listen, my principle is finding the truth, whatever that
yeah,
is, right? Regardless if I agree with it or not, what's true is true,
mhm,
you know, and or what's right is right, and what's wrong is definitely wrong. And then there's gray area that you could talk about. But like there are definitive things that are right and wrong. You stick to that, and then you can have different conversations. You can
mhm,
now move around and you don't have to be pigeonholed in one conversation. But then
right,
that goes to what you were just talking about, the confidence. And I believe that confidence comes from competence. And that's the problem I think with a lot of people. They're not competent in life. They might have
mm,
one thing that they know about. And as long as you're talking about that, they confident. But as soon as you veer
mm,
off, now they in foreign waters, now they about to drown because they don't know what, you know what I mean? And that's when you get the crash out. That's when you get the deflection. That's when you get the, you know what I mean? Because now you have caught their weakness. But if you're a competent person, meaning that you have a lot of knowledge, you got some wisdom, you got some experience behind what you talk about, you know what I mean? You know a little bit of something. You move around in these streets a little different. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you hard to shake at that point. And I think that's really what it is. People faking it to making it, and they not actual what they claim to be. And as soon as you give them a little pressure, boy, they bust.
yeah,
And
Hey,
that's what
can
big
I've
I?
been
time.
seeing. Yeah,
I would say like, okay, I would say that the people that I've seen that are the most effective on this app and that could roam freely in any, they say my ghetto pass go state to state, are people who have been shown that they could be in both sides of the party, right? And be able to stand firm on what they say and when they say it. But typically, people who are, to a Kelvin word, is one sided, whether you on the other side or the other side, you will not be accepted amongst the other group because you don't frequent often. You don't frequent often. You don't take time to understand. So if you don't do that, I believe if you want to come on this platform and be effective, you have to be able to stand in places that you don't feel comfortable. And if you
yep.
don't do that, you would never be effective. You would be heard, but you would never be effective as far as getting your message out if you're not able to go in these other spaces and talk to these people and get a better understanding. If not, you're just going to be one-sided and nobody's going to be effective that way.
Hey, hey, that's real talk. Hey, do you
Yeah,
think
Sean
that's
get one of
how?
those out of me every now and then.
I know, right?
I take it. I take it. God damn it.
That
You
was
don't
good though.
know.
That was good though.
Sky be throwing jewels out here, bro. He be dropping jewels out his pocket sometimes.
It
You be
make a
like,
lot of
hold
sense
on.
though. It make a lot of sense.
Yeah. If you think
That's the
about
only
it,
reason why I
though,
came up with Weird Cousins. That I was like, let me do it. See what I got. Let me
yeah.
not be myself. Let me just go ahead and let it be known that I get it. I understand y'all the issues on this side too. I get it.
And see, here's let me add this to what
And
he
people
said,
can't
right?
stand that though. That's when you see the other side get pissed off at you. What the heck you was doing over there? Why was you agreeing with that or something like that? But
Right,
they not competent.
right.
What you was just talking about. That's just what that is though. So that make a lot of sense.
And
To
then
make
added
sense.
to that is like they're not willing to
Mm-hmm.
try to learn. And that's the other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
They afraid.
you know, I go into a spot even if I know, like I've been over into some Trump situations, right? Like I'm not even political. Y'all know that. Like I don't
Mm-hmm.
really get into that. But they were talking and it was all MAGA on the panel, right? And so I rolled in and they were actually looking to argue. So, you know, how to get their little panels like blah, 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 prove me
Mm-hmm.
wrong. So what they're doing is they're
Right.
trying to make an argument, right? So I'm like, okay, I'm cool. I rolled up in there and they first come up there, hey, liberal, blah, blah. I said, first of all, let me hold on, pump your brakes on me. I'm not liberal or that. I'm independent. So I don't care about none of y'all shit, to be honest. I don't give a fuck who you talk about. I just want to understand what you're talking about. Why
Mm-hmm.
is it that you do what you do? I'm not here to prove you wrong or anything. And they stopped and they was like, well, you know, Biden, blah, blah. I said, well, I don't care about that. I'm asking about your boy. I'm asking you to stay at that. I don't want to hear about nobody else because I don't care. And we ended up having an okay conversation. I said okay because they were still ridiculous, but you know what I mean? But and I really literally came in to see and try to understand what you're talking about. I ain't got to try to argue you down. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna try to make you prove or see
Mm-hmm.
my way because you're not me. I just want to know because I think y'all a cult. So I just want to understand, do you even care that you look like that? You know what I mean? And
He's,
so,
matter of
yeah.
fact, recently, recently that's what happened to me though. That's what the in Sean know the deal. What happened a couple of days ago. Me trying to understand another person's perspective, they looked at me as a pander or something like that. I'm like, what the heck? I said, I said, I don't even mess with some of these people. But it goes back to what you were saying. Like some people, they cannot see some outside of themselves. So they feel like if you go against what they say, that you're against them. That's kind of what my topic was about yesterday, though. So it's like some people just don't have the ability to do that. I am a balance. I try to be as balanced as best as I can, right? I try to learn everybody's side. You know, I changed the ways that I used to even have when I first started this app. You know, some people just don't have that ability. I even noticed that, shoot, some groups ain't no different from the other groups. They just come from different angles. They both do this, throw offenses or try to offend you when things don't go the way they want to. They call you names and all this other stuff. And I realized that some people that got the same talking points as me, they do the exact same thing as the people that I probably don't mess with, the divestors. They both do the exact same thing. So it's like these are the people that's far left and far right, and they say you have to pick a side. They go with that topic I had yesterday. And that's the thing. Then you
Facts.
got robots that follow these people. Robots that don't
Facts.
have a mind of their own, and they all are like, "Yes, yes, I'm a fan of you. That's cool. I love everything you said. He's wrong or something like that." Because it's like that's because some people don't have a mind of their own. They don't have that confidence. I'm confident in what I am and what I've experienced. I mean, not experienced. What I went through and what I stand on. Because I'm gonna stand on what I stand on regardless. And like I said, with the topic I had yesterday, right or wrong, man or woman, if you saying something that's helping or if you saying something that's helping, I support it. If you saying something that's damaging, I'm against it. I don't care if you're a big creator, this known thing, a famous person. I don't care. I'm going to challenge it. That's the difference, and that's what people don't like because everybody always be kissing people nuts and stuff. That's what happened nowadays. I'm not one of those.
I give you two things where I see go wrong, right? And
Sis.
cousin, you tell me on the second part, you tell me if you agree with the second part. The second one I'm gonna say, right? But the first one is a lot of the times I blame the host for these conversations that could be that can make it further than what they are, but they don't hold people accountable. What I mean by that is if someone is talking and then the next person come after them, bring up something totally different and don't even address what the previous person said, that's a bad host to me because you need to be able to keep everything in contact, keep everything like, okay, this is what, no, answer that. Let's answer that. And then once you answer that, say what you got to say, and then let the next person answer that shit. Therefore, everybody could be making some type of progress moving forward on these panels, but you don't do that. Somebody will say something, and then after that, somebody could say some good ass shit. I'm like, damn, that was powerful right there. And guess what? The host don't have the next person respond to it. They just gloss over it like they didn't want to deal with it. And that make me feel like that person had a good ass talking point, but you had nothing to back it up. And then my second point would be is this is where I believe that men be fucking up at, Caleb, and I'm gonna be honest. Cause I like what cousin said, it's about I care about truth, right? Majority of the time when I see women bring up stuff, it be statistics and numbers and shit that backs them up. Majority of the time. Not them hateful lies. I'm talking about just regular lies. They be having shit to back up the stuff that they be saying. Majority of the time, that stuff that we be saying as men be based upon opinions and what we think, and we don't have nothing to back it up. Therefore, the conversation always looked as if we just coming in there hating women, and it definitely come across that to me, because if a woman is bringing statistic and stats and there's data to prove that, and a man not bringing nothing, who are we supposed to go with at that point?
Right. And you know what? And it's funny because I just made a video about this. And I ain't put it out yet, but it was about the stats. And it seems that you're correct. When a woman uses a stat, it is a stat that is basically, it proves a point. When a man uses a stat, in general, there are some times where the stats are correct, but in general, it is like the baseline stat that it has no depth to it, right? It's like the little low-hanging fruit stat that proves or that alludes to their opinion. Like, it's not something that is even provable. It's just a stat that they use to try to justify their opinion. And that's the difference. And it leads to an argument almost every time. You are correct about that.
And you know, the thing is, me, myself, and I done got myself to this point, is that I really don't care about that, the stat stuff or whatever, because at the end of the day, people gonna either reject it or accept it or whatever it is, right? My thing is, once we approve this stat, then what's after that? You know what I'm saying? Like, is this stat going to get people to start acting better? You know what I'm saying? Or is they going to start, being even more this way or whatever? Because it's like, it's no purpose of stating stats with no solution at the end or whatever. Like, okay, cool. Now that we know men are more dangerous, okay, cool. We looked that up. Now what can we do about it? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or do we just do this just to humiliate each other and not even have no type of change? Because most of the time, people that want to state these stats, they didn't even change anything within themselves. So what's the point?
Okay, I'll tell you what you just said. What it's going to prove one thing to me, right? It's not the fact that you're trying to bring it up to shut people down. It's the fact that you bring up a stat that you can literally go off of and you neglect it. Now, once you neglect a stat that is a study, that is something proven outside of what your opinion may be, and you don't want to address that, you still want to bring opinion, that means that you don't really care about nothing else. So why am I going to continue? That's what I'm saying. Like, I think the truth, the message will hit the people who actually care about the truth. The people who just want to get their opinions out, they don't care about statistics, right? And they're not going to answer it. I would say, if someone bring up statistics, at least try to go off of that. But okay, well, based upon what you said and what you read, I can see where you're coming from. But I haven't found no study to back that up. Validate the goddamn study. Don't act like the study don't exist, and then you give your opinion, and then you want somebody to accept your opinion, but they brought out a hardcore study. That it stops the conversation from moving forward. I see this happen day in and day out on these panels.
Yeah, you got to the point that it's like it's either going to get people that's going to accept it or reject it. That's all that really is. Otherwise, depending on people's intentions, they really just don't care off rip. Like, if you come with the mindset of, I can care what you present to me, I'm still going to be me, it's pointless. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, and I get you, it's like, and it's the same thing why I'm into stats. That's why I love stats, because at least maybe help people that's in the middle, right? That's why I say I speak, because I might help people that's on the middle. My baby in the building, what's up, babe? It's going to help people that's in the middle that be like, okay, I didn't even know that much about it. So maybe I can stray away from being this way, because I didn't know that if you act this way or you hang around these type of people, or 9 times out of 10 you end up going this way. There you go. So yeah, but I'm big on it. I'm just saying, like, overall, the thing is, we have to, after we do these stats, then now try to give information of how not to be this stat or how to be the stat. It got to be one of the two. A lot of times, and I would say majority of people do that, they only do it out of pride, just to be right, and that's just it, right? And cool, you got a hand clap, and did you get a reward? You know what I'm saying? Did you get to eat the food that you want to eat? Like, what did you get out of that? Like, is you really trying to help people out, or you just want to be right? You know what I'm saying? So that wanting to be right, that's not helping nobody out. People keep claiming that they want to help people, all they want to do is rub stuff in people's face, and that's all it is. That's not helping nobody out. So that's why I say it's forced. You could tell on the way people act right after. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
but after you go, cuz, let me get Star Girl in too.
Yeah, I was just
And
gonna
babe,
say
let me know when you're trying to come up.
one last thing about them stats, I think, and what I've noticed, and because I'm on both sides of them panels. So, in my experience, what I've seen is that a lot of the times, the women will bring up stats to verify their experiences. So if they're saying like, because for some reason when they say that they, whatever they're going through, you know, the men are saying that that's not true. That that's just, you know, your victim mentality, it's lies, it's blah, blah, blah. So what they do is they bring out the stats to say, hey, no, this is actually what's happening. It's not just us. And when men are bringing out stats, it's basically to shut up women. And that is what I've seen most of the time. Not all the time, but it seems like that's the temperature. The stat is, I'm trying to blame you and make you culpable, right? The community is bad and it's women's fault. Let me bring you the stats. When meanwhile, women are just saying, hey, we tired of being attacked. And this is these are the stats to prove that we are. And I think that is like the biggest misconception, because both sides don't listen to the other, right? They're just trying to prove whatever they're trying to say.
True.
And it's like, yo, if you just take a step back and look at what they're saying, there's truth in all of this. And maybe the solution is to stop trying to prove each other wrong and try to meet each other in the middle.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's the problem.
Mm-hmm. That's what I said. Even that, I'm big on like this. As long as you can improve from that stat instead of staying stuck or something. Like I said, it almost sounds like you said that one of them is giving a stat just to stay being miserable. I think I don't support that in a way, because it's like, what's the point of doing that? I'd rather bring up some stats that people prevailed in or something like that. You know, because you can't have a growth and be like, well, 9 times out of 10 that every time we build a building that these YT people gonna tear it down. It's like, dang, what the heck? That means try something different. You know what I'm saying? What's the point of bringing that stat up just to stay where you at and stay miserable? So I think I never like stats like that. You know, I get some of the stats, like if they say, well, 9 times out of 10 that it's because of this happened or somebody not being happy, then you got to dig to something else after that. Like, okay, cool. Why are you not happy? Why are you know why? What? So I don't know. I think at the end of the day, it's always gonna go back to accountability. I mean, it just is. In order, if you're looking for change, it's gonna be accountability, or the stats can be blamed. It's just one of the two. You know, it just depends on everybody's purpose. Everybody got their purpose. Some people use this stuff as a no, it's not open panel. I'm just putting my point. But some people, and you about to be next. Some people, dang, what the heck was I about to say? Dang. All right, it's open panel now because I forgot. Cool. I mean, not open panel, but it's on you, Star. Go ahead.
Hi, hello, what's up? How y'all doing?
I'm good. We're good. What's up?
I would like to speak on the first prompt.
Mm-hmm.
I think that why people are so loyal to race, culture, region, family, friends, etc. is because as humans, we're naturally just very social beings. And in order to be social, we find our own tribes. As in tribes, I just mean groups, as in those things that you listed, right? And a lot of times why we devote our loyalty to them is because we want acceptance, because acceptance does mean more social paving in a way, you know what I mean?
Okay. All right.
And I think something that's important to me is traditional homes, just not bad, you know what I mean, just like traditional homes. I think that's important to me.
And why is it?
Because, you know, I grew up in a traditional home, so I don't think it's important. I don't think that everyone has to do it, but I do think that it's a really good thing. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a bad thing. I think traditional homing is traditional
You got any
homes.
details of what it looked like?
The man protects, the woman nurtures and cares.
Dang, I ain't hear your part.
Hmm?
So I ain't hear your part at all. Crickets. Okay, that's cool. All right, so
I'm
all
sorry.
right.
Wait, I don't understand. You didn't hear my part at all?
Yeah, I didn't hear you said what the man do. I ain't hear nothing you said you do. you just told me
The
what the man do.
woman, I said the man provides and protects, correct? And the woman nurtures and
Okay, there you
cares.
go. I hear you now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I hear that. All right, so anybody else that y'all wanted to throw something in there? Y'all wanted to get on this prompt? Mm, nobody. All right, cool. All right, so uh, how you feel about why we want to be? So you already explained that a little bit through the loyalty thing, though. Um, anything else you wanted to answer on this thing before I go next?
I do think that body count is important for both men and women.
Interesting. Hope that's about to shake the
What
thing
you
up.
said, Kev? Did you want to answer the prompt? What you said?
No, I was just saying if anybody wanted to answer something.
No, I was gonna say you noticed that. Well, I ain't gonna say you noticed. I never believed that men should talk amongst men about the issues that me like with the women thing, right? Up until today, kind of confirmed it that whenever you have like men talking to men about shit that women go through, for some reason I feel like it like the conversation just be flowing and shit. Like it ain't a bunch of resistance. Or I guess you gotta have the right type of men that's open minded to have these conversations. But I think the same conversation me, you, and cousin is having, if it would have been women up here and then women would have been saying the same things that all of us are saying, I think for some reason that triggers something in men to where they can't really accept it. But just hearing other men say it amongst other men and not women around, because a lot of times men don't want to have those conversations around women because it's kind of like a pride thing, an ego thing where they want to try to show out, you know what I'm saying? So I always wonder, like, it seems as if men talking amongst men about issues
Hey,
that women
cuz
go
you got to
through
switch up.
might be more effective.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. I mean, I think anything that's possible, making things progress. Hey, might as well. Hold up, cuz I'm about to bring you right back up. I gotta get my baby in. Let me see something. Get some
What's going
stuff
on?
going. Come on up, bud. Where you? I can invite you this way. And then I'm gonna get Cuz my brother Cuz. Yeah, I like how Cuz is, man. I think he very balanced person, man. I noticed though. He used to irritate me back then. I ain't gonna lie, he used to irritate. But I see what he be doing though, man. I'm actually learning a lot of stuff from him also though. So he got some pages I don't got for real. That's one thing I can give him. But I believe he expanded his mind, man. Like I said, he actually got me to think that everybody has a point. Everybody, no matter if I like them or not, everybody. Sometimes you gotta look into other people's world to understand. Sometimes, it ain't always just one side, all that, and people just don't have that
Mm.
ability. Um, so yeah,
I don't know if you guys can hear me. My name is Virgo. I'm on my broken phone. But I think it's perspective. A lot of people forget
your
that
voice low, verbal.
our life experiences changes our perspective and the
Oh
perspective.
shit, my phone about to die.
You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I
Verbal,
think
your
that
voice low. I can't hardly hear you.
you can't. I'm sorry. I'm on a bad phone. Okay, listen. I'm gonna tap in later.
Got you.
All right, later.
Crookzilla, what you got for me?
I guess I'm still trying to you know, hear you guys first, see what you guys are saying. But
Yeah,
yeah, uh-huh. Say it again.
no, I was just about to say that I guess to open up floor up a little bit. It's just basically like we're just trying to see why is this, I guess with the even question itself on why people like what's the root of being accepted, why we don't like being rejected, why be loyal. So it's like to base all this stuff around, even with just the topic though. And then we
Mm-hmm.
also on our side talk was basically like sometimes get in a situation or put yourself in other people's shoes to try to understand where they come from instead of sticking to one side, everything. But you
Right.
have to actually be built for that, I believe, because some people just not ready for it. Because soon as they hear something that may trigger them, they're gonna shift the whole conversation. They're gonna shift it to whatever was inside of them internally, and then they
Right.
not learning from what the other side is. Because everybody have a side. Everybody got a point. Sometimes two people can be right. Back to the topic I was talking about yesterday, though. So yeah,
Yeah.
whatever you wanted to address
I
on.
mean, some people are more closed-minded, some people are more open-minded. I think that has to do with experience too. Everybody got different backgrounds, different experiences. You know, and if so, certain people only experienced one thing, so they think that's the way it is, you know, so yeah. And when it comes to rejection, like rejection specifically where,
Any form of rejections in life, any form that come to mind.
I mean, I think, like me personally, I just suck it up and just move on. I mean, it is what it is, and I learn, and I
How
just
did it
move
make you
on.
feel then? Since you said you suck it up.
Makes me feel that is either not for me, or if it's like it could be a rejection, it could be okay, when you're speaking of like let's say a job rejection, that means that you lacked somewhere, you need to better yourself somewhere, whatever, you know, it is what it is. Or it's not for you simply. And if it's something personal, like somebody reject you and you want somebody, oh well, man, I'm too conceited for that shit. Like I don't like you like that anyway. Like bye. I don't give a shit. Like I really don't. Like when it comes to personal rejection, I don't care. I give it a chance, and if it's not, that chance doesn't work, so oh well, then I just move on. For the most part, every rejection, I just move on.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my
Gotcha.
ego is not that fragile. Like I'm good.
I got you. I got you. I got you. Did you ever go basically to the base of why you even looked to be accepted the first time? And me answer, they
Sure,
all
I
be
give it a
home and find me. Okay,
chance
baby, let me know.
because I just want to give it a chance, and because I see something that I like, I see something that interests me, I
And
give it
why
a
did you like it?
chance. I mean, because it's something that I like. It could be anything. Like if I see something that seems interesting to me, I go after it. But
Yeah,
if I
I think it's
right,
always a base though, because one thing I learned in life is like we run away from pains and we run towards pleasure. So some things just be pleasing. Like pleasure, it could come in many different ways. To be physical, mental, visual. Those are it's so many different forms of pleasure. Like you pleased to see certain shows and stuff or whatever. That's the reason why you sometimes we may be addicted to video games, the feeling of shoot smacks, all that stuff, whatever. It's like so many different pleasures that's out here. It's probably
yeah.
why fat. So yeah, usually
Mhm.
it's always a reason why. Just like it's a reason why you might like the color red. You know, it might remind you of something. It might or
Right,
might
right.
be whatever. So it's always a base to that. We don't just like stuff or want stuff just to want it. There's always something
Yeah.
behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, like if I see, let's say, a man that I like, and cause he's my type or whatever, his looks or whatever, because first I can only judge by looks until I get to know him. Unless I already knew him from somewhere and we on occasions we spoke, but if I first meet you and first we judge by looks, right? So you could be my type, so we start talking, and then when we start talking, you could, you know, maybe you turn me off by something you said, or I noticed some red flags, so I just let you go, you know.
Hmm.
So that's that.
Okay. Let me get BB in. What you got?
Hey, real quick, yo, I gotta drop down. You want to drop
Okay.
me down? I'll try to come back in a few minutes.
Okay,
I don't
I
want to
got you.
interrupt her, but yeah,
For
I
sure, for sure. I
appreciate you.
got you. Yep. Well, yeah, BB. Chocolate? Oh, her doing the yeah, she doing the usual. Well, the mic ain't working. Be right back. Sheesh. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, how do you, if I may ask, how is
Mm.
it to you? Like, how do you look at rejection and all that stuff? Like, how
Um.
does it affect you?
Yeah, yeah. It do affect me on certain things. Then I have to dig deep and ask myself, why did it affect me? That's what came with the topic show my baby just did about learning yourself, or
Hmm.
understanding yourself, or just even loving yourself. The term loving yourself. I don't believe in loving yourself, but I'm just saying I get it. I know I get the base of it. It's just basically learning yourself and whatever. So I say that I just say how it relate to me, how do it help me out, or what I thought something may be for me, because of other things it may tie to. So, like I said, I just ask myself, why do I feel that way? Should I feel this way? Is it worth lasting that long? You know what I'm saying? To feel this way, should I let it go? You know. And always one thing I live by also is that complaining. I notice it never gets us anywhere. So I said, but stress, it gives us more stress. That's all they do. So it's no point in really complaining. So kind of best to move
Right.
on.
Just move on and just look
Mhm.
forward and just like I
Yep.
don't get stuck on like yeah.
Mhm.
Like and sometimes when I was rejected, like of course it really for the most part hurts your ego. It doesn't hurt it doesn't hurt anything more than your ego. It really just hurts your ego for the most part. So like me, I try not to have my ego too fragile for that.
So
Cause it's
where's
your
Sean?
ego that
Sean,
makes you
come back. You
feel
done
bad.
dropped out. I don't know if you didn't realize he dropped out. I'm about to get
Cause
Sean. You can get in because as you said you missed. Oh, he
our
dropped out.
ego, it feeds on. That's what our ego feeds on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to feed
Right.
my ego, so
Mm-hmm. That's what that is. We don't like that feeling. We like taking an L. Rejection is so close to taking an L. I get it. But I guess it's just changing the point of view of how you feel about it after that. Moonlight, what you got for me, man?
Hello, how are you? Hello, everyone.
Well, I'm good. Why
I
do
ain't
I be
never.
thinking some people about to be men when they come up?
Oh,
Let's go by the
no,
name. I be biases with names like this. Got to be a man.
no.
So
But just to answer the question of why do we want to be accepted so bad today, I honestly feel like it's because of social media and us being in love with an aesthetic and superficial perspectives, you know, and honestly, like if you don't have a community outside of social media, you kind of come to social media for acceptance, for validation, for understanding. So I think that's a big part of it. Like when we see like certain lifestyles and things like that, you're more susceptible to it because it's like, I want to achieve those things. It almost seems like unattainable. So it's kind of alluring in a way, and I think it makes people want to either strive to be a part of it, or either it makes people feel rejected from it for whatever reason, whether it's how they look or what it is they're talking about. Oftentimes people don't share the same perspective, and because people don't know how to really communicate nowadays, because of this social media thing, people's social skills is off, so it's hard to even have a regular conversation with folks nowadays, so it's kind of hard to get to common ground or a basic level of understanding. And I think too, it affects your perception of self. So if you already feeling bad about yourself, you get on the internet and you realize the people on the internet up here for shits and gigs, you know what I mean? And they kind of making fun of a certain group of people, and you kind of fit into that narrative of those group of people. It could make you feel self-conscious even more so than how you would feel on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Because you come to it as an outlet and you realize, well, dag, I'm not really accepted here either. So I think that it turns into a bit of a divisive mechanism, one, and two, it definitely affects perception of self. Yeah. So
okay, that was nice. That was nice. Uh, wow, y'all know y'all be getting people with these names. Core information.
I'm gonna go ahead and take that. That's better than all the other
And
pronunciations.
you know you ain't right. You just not right. That's crazy. I was like, she about to do everybody bold like that. All right. So
No, it's
pink shirt.
correct
We just gonna
way.
go with pink shirt. What you got for me?
That's so funny. So just pick one of the ones I want to answer.
You can you can. Yeah, you can. Or you could just start off with the green one and then expound on that.
Okay, because I can do a quick run through.
All right.
Okay.
There ain't that many people in here.
Okay, so the first one, why do we want to be accepted so badly? Today, you were very specific with that today. I didn't even pay attention to that part. But my original answer to this is because I do think it's natural for us to want to be connected, to want to be a part of something, a part of a group, a part of family and things of that nature. So I feel like it's just a natural, biological thing to want that. Like it's healthy to have community and things of that nature. Now, regarding like why they want to be accepted, why people seek the attention, why they seek to have or look a certain way. Like Miss Moonline said, I definitely think it is social media, their upbringing and what they see, what they believe is to be cool and to be accepted for. A lot of it could be having low self-esteem, low confidence. It could be because mental things that are going on, or they don't look the part, so they try to do something to make them feel more adequate. So it could be. I think it's just going to be a lot of different reasons, and it also depends on what they're trying to be accepting of or in.
Okay. All right. I didn't get Starks in. Stark in. What you got for me, Stark? We just throw the green one for now, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing that Core said, right? We're social creatures,
You
right?
see,
We want to
he switched it up on me too. I thought that was a woman and now it's a man. I'm tired of y'all, man.
no.
I'm
It's
really
just
tired of y'all.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to deceive you. It's a character. Sorry.
I
Um,
got you.
but yeah, really, it's just the same thing that she said, right? We're social creatures. We just want to feel like we just want to belong. Nobody wants to be alone, really, right? Like
Mm.
social media may have made that more prevalent, but even before social media, like people still wanted to feel like they belong in a group of some, like whether it was in school, in church, in the community, right? Like people still want to belong to something. Nobody wants to feel like alone. So that's just what it is.
Okay, okay,
Because
okay.
people can't handle being alone. And, I don't know why everybody always needs somebody. Like, sometimes alone is much better. Like, no stress, nothing. You're on your own. I guess, I
You
don't
only
know.
want to
I
be
guess it
alone for
takes a
so
stronger
long.
individual. I don't know.
Like being alone only works for so long. Like at the end of the day, like you're still gonna want someone to talk to, someone to laugh with, hang with, do stuff with, right? Like if you're a social person, like if you're an athlete, like I play a lot of sports, so as much as like I like to practice alone, at the end of the day, I like to play with other people because it's just more fun. So you can do things alone, that's fine, but no matter what, at the end of the day, you're still gonna want human interaction. It's just
You
how
are.
we're wired.
Well, I think
You
some
are.
people wanted more and some people wanted less. Like, everybody's different when it comes to that. Some people urge it more, or, wanted more, uh, like yearn
True,
for it.
true.
But
The one is,
some people
yeah,
are just good with themselves. It depends. Everybody's different. Yeah.
yeah. Like I consider myself an introvert. I like to stay to myself a lot of the times. But again, at some point, it gets to like, okay, I need to go out and like interact with people. Like I don't like to interact with people for too long because my social battery is very low. Like I have a very low social battery, but I
Right.
still want to go out and still interact with people. Once my battery runs out, I'm out. Like I gotta go back to my alone time,
To my
recharge, and stuff
cave,
like that.
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like no matter what time we're in, like we still want to interact with people, whether it's more than other people or less. But there's still that
Yeah.
human interaction that we still want to have.
All right, y'all. Let me get a Lone Wolf in. I don't know if my baby back yet, but go ahead, Lone Wolf. What you got for me on the green? We're just doing why do you want to be accepted so bad?
Yeah, I think that's why we're seeing a lot of rise in the rejection of the LGBTQ community because they also want to be recognized and loved, and so many people are just saying, "No, we don't love you because we don't understand you," and that's causing a lot of tension within our common American society.
Mm, that's the first thing that came to your mind. Okay. All right. Say less. All right. All right. Well, I guess I throw a little bit in here though. I would say that's a good one though. That's a good one though also because I actually talked to one, right? I noticed that, and we don't even have to do that because I think everybody don't need to be accepted by everybody. Just just don't. And just because somebody might not accept you, that don't mean that they don't. Well, I guess in some cases, sometimes they don't like you, but they might not accept what you do, right? But accept who you are. You know what I'm saying? Something like that though. So that's how I kind of view that though. So I believe I guess to put my perspective in this is that a lot of the times, so from the beginning, yes, we want to be accepted especially as a child, we just want our parents to love us. We want to prove to them um that we can be the best, the favorited, We don't want to be a disappointment, you know. So stuff like that, we just brought into that. So that's the reason, to not do that or not fulfill what our parents want us to do, that kind of make us feel bad.
Oh no, it never
And
made me feel bad. I actually didn't care. I was a rebellious one, but not that I'm proud of it. But no, that's the last thing.
yeah, to not
Me as
feel
a
bad,
kid,
yeah, that sound
yeah.
like some other I would say that's something up with that to not that means you got something happened then for you to not
Not really, nothing happened. It's just that I was
yeah,
living a
to
kid
yeah,
life. I
because
didn't
it's no
care
way
about.
a child, I can't see that though. A child just automatically like they disappoint their parent and don't care. That's
I
kind of
mean, because
rare.
I wasn't even thinking about caring or not caring. I just did what I just be. I was just a kid. That's it. I was just being a kid. I didn't think about caring or not caring. I was just doing what I felt like. What not? I mean, of course, I was disciplined, but I wasn't. Yeah, of course. I mean, I was
So
disciplined, and I was.
when your parents say, "No, that's bad. Why you do that? That's bad." You didn't cry
Of
or
course, I
feel bad.
listened. I listened, but
You
just
ain't feel no
because I
way.
listened and respected my parents, just because I listened and respected my parents, doesn't mean that I genuinely like, felt so guilty or something. Like I just knew that
Wow.
that's something that's not supposed to be done, and that's not something that's supposed to be done, and I didn't do it, or like, right. So, but
Mm.
yeah, like it's same
You a
thing with
different
my
type of
mother.
human being. Then you special one.
Well,
Then I
Speak
give it to you.
not that I'm
about yourself.
special. You probably not I'm probably not explaining it right, but same thing like my mother. If she couldn't buy me something, like it's like my friends. If their mother couldn't buy them something, they start crying, start this whole loud freaking
Okay, let me put it in
night.
this way. Did
And
you
I
ever
wasn't
look to
like
get
that.
rewarded by your parents?
Sure, I mean, I did something so I
Okay.
could get a toy or whatever, right?
Okay.
Sure. But that was like, but that's more of a transactional thing rather than
Yeah, I feel you
feeling
on that. So I'm
guilty.
saying like that means if you have that feeling, you also feel bad if you don't get rewarded, right?
I would only feel bad because I didn't get what I want, right? Not because I
Yeah.
feel bad or guilty about something. Like, of course, I knew there's things that you're supposed to do, things that you're not supposed to do, but deeply, I wasn't like, oh, like, I feel so bad. Oh my God, I disappointed my mother. Like, I feel so guilty and bad. Like, yeah, I feel bad that I shouldn't do that, but then, I mean, come on, like, for real? Like, when you a kid, you're not supposed to do certain things, but
Because you go through a rebellious stage in your life where it's just like, okay, I have to separate my identity from who my parents perceive me to be and figure out and distinguish who it is that I actually am. So at some point, you're going to have to step outside the confines of their expectations, not only to be a better version of yourself, but to learn,
right,
to
of
grow.
course,
Like you can't live your whole life thinking, dag, like if I do this, then you know what I mean? That's more
right,
fear based. That's more fear based than it is about respect.
Yeah, and
exactly.
I think that's as an adult though. That's why I specify as a child. How do you have a mindset like that? That's just amazing to
What do you
Well,
be
mean?
able to
as a
But
child,
separate.
what's
I
so
was like
Just
that.
amazing
I
about
kind
Kind
of
of
it?
like
feel her
how like a
because
white tea
I was
person
like
maybe
that
talk
as well
about
as a
their mama.
kid. Like I was somebody who challenged the norms. I was very
Right,
rebellious. I was somebody who wanted to do it anyway. I was adventurous. My
right,
mom used to look at me and go, Selena, you're freaking fearless. You know what I mean? My mom would
right.
say that to me. So it got to a point where it's like, even as a child, I had a need to be free. I had a need to experience life. And did I
Of
definitely hit
course,
my head?
that's natural.
Sure, I hit my head, but like she said, it wasn't about no guilt. I wasn't carrying guilt around with me.
Right.
No.
I mean, of course, I feel bad that I'm like, damn, I messed up again. I'm gonna get punished for this. The only reason why I felt bad is because I know I'm gonna get punished. But to feel guilty, oh my God, I disappointed my mother. I feel so bad. Come on now, for real.
yeah, that's
As a
I would say
kid,
that's kind of rare though. I ain't gonna lie, that's rare
what?
No, but if you think
to
about it, that's unhealthy. Like I
yeah,
don't
that's why I
think.
said there's something behind it. That's why I
No,
said
no,
yeah,
I'm
but go
talking about.
ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
are
I
you
grew up
probably
kind
not
of like how you
understanding
grew
what
up. Hold
Anna
on, hold on, hold on,
Moonlighter
hold
is
on, hold on.
saying? But
Hold on one second. I'm not talking about you, Miss Crooks, being unhealthy. What I think is unhealthy is that in our BLK households, at least in mine, growing up like that, when you get out of that mindset, when you learn like that is fear based. if as a kid, if you're so concerned about letting your parents down to the point where you feel condemned in a way to
Right,
that
right.
extent, that is kind of unhealthy.
That's
Because
unhealthy. Thank
now
you.
you're gonna be looking at other, relationships like, okay, I have to make sure that I please this person.
Satisfy everybody.
Wait,
Yeah.
and that's too much of a weight. That is way too much of a weight. However, we should definitely be listening. Or I do understand, like when you want to go to school, you want to show that to your point, when you said like you want to show your parents that you are a good child, right? You're not just going to do something just to be rebellious, but you do want to get good grades. You do want to show them that you do care and things of that nature. But to hold the weight of feeling like I just really let down my mom, my dad,
Right.
and some
That's what I was
households,
talking about. That's what I
they
mean.
use that as like punishment, which is very, to me, that's really unhealthy.
That's
And not only
thank you so
that,
much. I'm sorry I was cutting you off. That's exactly what I meant.
everybody doesn't have the same upbringing. Not everybody had the luxury of those types of parents. You know what I mean? So there's different strokes for different folks. You know what I mean? Like some kids, they had to grow up earlier, like, you know what I mean, and be hyper vigilant and be more aware of their surroundings and adapt to different things. If you were constantly accommodated for, then of course you would feel some kind of way if you went against what their expectations were, because how dare you? I provided everything for you. But if you were not provided for to that extent, or you didn't grow up in that type of situation, then it's like you gotta survive. Like, you know what I mean? Certain people just had to survive.
I say, like I said, I would say y'all very special and some smart kids. Then I was about to say y'all the first set of kids I heard that didn't care what their parents thought about them. So that's cool.
Kids only care
So
because they don't want to get punished.
hey, that's what I'm saying. It don't matter the reasoning, though. But y'all was
That's
some
the
very
reason.
smart kids to do, because these are things we kind of learn when we get older. But somehow y'all was kids that just didn't. That's amazing. I say y'all
But
were
that's
very
not
Not to
amazing.
something
lie
Hold
so
up.
to you,
hard to
I've
Let me
heard
figure
go
that
ahead
my
and
whole
out.
life.
let
I've
me
heard
actually
that
give
my
y'all
whole
a clap
life.
for that though, because y'all different though. Y'all
Are you
something
serious?
special.
But that's not something so hard to figure out. When you're a kid, it's not hard to figure out what punishment feels bad. You know, that's not hard to
How can it
figure
feel
out. So
bad?
you
You
do
don't
things
care.
not to get punished.
No,
You
but
didn't
No,
care
but
how
if you
your
know
you
you
don't
could
it's
get
not.
you
away,
didn't
then
care how your
sure.
parents felt about you or disappointment. So how can you even care about that?
No.
We
I
talked
feel like
about
this.
guilt, carrying guilt, not didn't care about carrying guilt.
Nobody
That's
said
what we
anything
talked
about
about.
carrying guilt. I
Well,
wasn't
that's
going
what
to
I meant,
extreme. I'm
right?
just
And
saying,
then
as a
Corey,
kid,
she described it
majority
for me.
kids I know, when they did not want they felt a certain way if they disappoint their parents. Every
Because
kid
of
I know of
punishment.
that's like that, especially at the beginning.
Because of
Everybody
right, we
wanted
all
to.
do that because of punishment. We scared, we don't want to get punished, right? So we
I'm
don't
not
do
talking
things to
about.
get
It could be
punished.
that could be one of the reasons. That
That's
could
the
be one of the
biggest
reasons. But I'm
reason.
saying, as a
Fear is
child,
a motivator.
I was just saying, as a child, that is rare to cipher that as a child, because you automatically want to be accepted as soon as you're born.
I don't know,
You
but I don't know.
I
I
get
guess
what you're
you.
saying. I get what you're saying. But
Yeah,
yeah, as a kid, I wasn't worried about none of that. I'm not gonna lie.
I
I was
understand what you're
pretty
saying.
bad. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I get it.
Not that we were smart. I mean, I wasn't smart,
Oh,
so
I
it
was
wasn't.
smart.
I
It
was smart
was
as
okay, yeah,
hell.
let it be smart, whatever. But
Smart
it
as
was
shit. You got me
natural.
messed
I
up.
think it's natural to figure out what punishment is, what certain actions have certain reactions. I think it's natural to figure that out even when you're a kid. Like you don't need to be, you don't need to go to school for that. You can figure it's natural. You can figure things out. There, you do one thing, another thing will happen, right? You touch something hot, you
Right,
can get
cause and
burned.
effect.
Cause and
And
effect. I mean,
especially if
that's
you were a kid
natural.
that had pattern recognition, you understood your environment way before everybody assumed you did. If you had pattern recognition, you could see the behaviors in the adults and you could dissect their behavior and analyze that and process that. You could see how mommy's
damn.
interacting with grandma. You could see how grandma interacting with auntie in comparison to
Yep.
mommy. You could see the
Mm-hmm.
whole dynamic play out.
Yep.
So if you just were not mentally equipped to see that because you were sheltered to
Then
a
that's
certain
special.
degree, like I said,
Okay,
everybody didn't grow up under the same circumstances.
talking.
Babe, you going?
Yeah,
I think I hear you.
I
Oh, there
was
you go.
trying to, but damn.
Mm.
um, no, I was just saying. I mean, the thing is, I think Kevin's speaking to like a natural human reaction. Like, I don't even know that you can like control that of feeling bad that you made someone else feel bad or upset. Like until
In terms of
um,
empathy, yes, I understand
hold on,
that.
honey. Hold on, honey.
I get
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's yeah. Until you start realizing certain things. But I think that's what Kev was just saying. As a kid, when you start off, everyone starts off trying to please their parents. Like, I don't care why you're trying to please your parents, but it's just a natural thing to feel bad that you didn't that you upset them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's normal.
I get that. Okay, I understand that. From the way you expressed it, I understand. Definitely, like when I was younger, I couldn't understand like why if I did certain things, you know what I mean? Like me, what I felt like was just me expressing myself or me just being free. You know what I mean? Like why it would upset her, like if she felt like I wasn't listening. And oftentimes I felt like she wasn't listening to me. So I understand how the dynamic got to that point. But definitely like when you're young, yeah, you don't, yeah. I get that. You wanting to make your mom happy. You wanting to, yeah, I understand that. And the way that you expressed that, I definitely get that. I'm not getting that at all.
Okay, we on the same page, and I'm glad. I'm glad somebody can articulate it for me. All right. So that's why I said a lot of stuff start from child. So, and not like I said, when we grow, we start, realizing and separating. So that's good. Eric, what you got for me, man? Why do we want to be accepted so bad today?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just want to say something that wouldn't it be great if all blacks go back to Africa?
Okay. That's amazing. That'd be a very acceptance, just like I accept that. All right.
People be having too
Oh,
much time. They be having too much time.
he
I'm
really.
like, if you
That's
need-
funny. He waited all that long just to
I
do this. That's
know.
Are you
amazing.
gonna wait
That's
that long?
exactly why he
So
just proved the
crap,
crime.
like.
He just proved the crime. He
What
want to be
did he
accepted
even
so bad.
say?
But you're gonna waste your time. Wait until you get called. Like how much of a loser must you be?
Yeah.
Like,
And now he can't even see us talk about him now. Yeah.
Oh
That's what he
well,
wanted to see.
that
He
is
wanted
too
to see that.
funny. They be having too much time.
Hmm.
like that's just so petty. Like wow. Like must like no life.
Yes. Did somebody said Moonlight?
Mm-mm.
No, I said you must like people must have no life. Like don't
Oh,
really
no life.
be so miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, can I answer the green?
Go ahead, babe.
From what I can ascertain, not um, why do we want to be accepted so bad? I mean, it feels good. It feels good, right?
Dopamine, huh?
I mean, everybody telling you to, like, it's a confirmation that you're doing something right.
Mm.
So, so for the people that don't feel accepted, they're gonna seek out to be accepted by somebody. You get what I'm saying? But I think the thing that I realize is people are never satisfied until like majority people accept them. And that's where you kind of go wrong. Is like why are you seeking out for majority people to accept you? You get what I'm saying? Like if you believe in what you are doing and that it is correct, I'm not sure why that's necessary. Because it's like some people, like
You're
for
right.
certain communities, right? It's like you have people that understand you and accept you. Why are you seeking to find more people to like convince to accept you?
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it. Thank
And
you.
this kind of that was yes. You gotta I'm gonna give it to her anyway, cause I'm biased. But I was about to say that yeah, they kind of and it do remind me when somebody did bring up the LG, right? Not the phone. But that is true though. I think that's one thing they're fighting too. And I realized that they have a defense mechanism too. So what happened? Like this actually reminded me. This topic actually came from because somebody came in my room was like, "Man, why these people don't like me and all this other stuff?" And I'm like, "Why do you keep going in rooms that don't like you? Then you know what I'm saying? Why are you fighting so hard to fit in somewhere that you don't need to be fit in with? You know what I'm saying? So that the thing is, we feel like that we have to sometimes force ourselves in or argue ourselves for people to accept us. Once you did that, you already I don't know what's going on with that. But the thing is, you have to realize that we are not for everybody. You know, I'm not for everybody. Others ain't for everybody. So that's just how that is. You know, that's probably why, you know.
Right.
Hmm?
You're
You said
right.
what?
Yeah. No, I say you're
Oh,
absolutely
oh
right.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then sometimes I have to realize that I might not be the message for this person at the moment because everybody have their reasons of why. Like been talking about for the last few days, everybody has their intentions of why they either jumped on a panel, why they starting lives, why they even on TikTok, you know, why they even just moving around the world. They got their own intentions of why they're doing it, you know, and eventually their intentions get exposed. You know, that's why I'm big on people hear every time in my room is like stick your chest out because we so worried about being accepted, we afraid that these so-called people that we think that should like us, we scared to talk and be free to say what we want because we think that somebody's going to reject us. Wait, why are you saying that? Why would you say, you know what I'm saying? But if you, like I said, if you stand on what you stand on, you don't have to worry about being accepted. You know, the ones that's going to accept you, it's going to accept you. Just like if I realized, and this is what I did, even yesterday I realized that I said I'm gonna go ahead and do it live like I used to do a while ago. Just go ahead, just speaking my points, speak my point, and express myself. People get my point of view of where I stand from, and if they stay in and listen, they stay in and listen. If they leave, they leave. Because like I said, that will waver the people out that really mess with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, let me hear what he's saying today. Or today I ain't feeling it. I want to go in an entertainment live. I want something that's actually have a conversation. I don't want to hear this guy all day. You know what I'm saying? So that I get to waver that out. But the thing is, if I'm not looking to be accepted, I just want to see who I can help. But I'm not about to keep fitting everybody to make them comfortable because some people be trying to like even try to switch my live around. Like you should do this, you should do that, and all that stuff. No, I'm gonna do what I feel like my purpose should be on here for. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna accept it or not. I'm not looking for you to accept me. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. This is how you waiver out certain things. That's why, like I said, speak how you
Yeah.
feel. Say where you stand on. You know, it's okay to be even wrong sometimes on some things and be okay with that. You know, if you open to learn more or just stick what you stick with. You know, everybody gonna have their beliefs of what they think and whatever. So just, you know, you don't have to be. And then most of the time we trying to be accepted by other miserable people. That's why we want to look like this and put makeup on for this person and put a hat on for this other person, wear jewelry for this other person. And 9 times out of 10, it never sticks because you got to count on that just to be accepted. If you got to count on external things to be accepted, you stressing yourself out already. Do it take money for you to get accepted? Do it take, you know, all these things you got to really think about is like how much you got to invest just to get accepted by whoever. You know what I'm saying? So that's
We
we
all
got to really
do
realize that.
things.
Hmm.
Like we all do things we all do things on a daily basis to be accepted to some level, to some extent,
True.
though.
That's true.
We can't just wake up, get out of bed, and be all sweaty and just throw anything we feel like we at home and go to work like that, because we don't care about being accepted. Like to some extent, we do care about being accepted, which I guess
Hmm.
there's a healthy level and there's a
Yeah. But you got a
yeah,
purpose. You got to know your purpose of why you're doing it. You don't want to get fired because you're a stink butt. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So I get
yeah,
that.
right.
because I don't look at that as like wanting to be accepted. I think I look at that as being considerate.
I mean,
Okay.
accepted in a way too, because sometimes what you smell
I don't think it's
may
the
not.
same thing.
Yeah, sometimes what others smell may not be what you smell.
No, but
Some people don't smell themselves,
No, I get it.
so
I get what my baby's saying
yeah.
though. That's just being considerate of others. That don't mean accept it. You know, you don't want no, like I said, you don't want to be stinking and all this other stuff
Well,
and
you brush
everybody
your
else.
hair because you want to
because the
be
thing
accepted
is,
as neat looking, right? You
It
brush your hair to
depends.
look
It
yeah,
just
but
neat.
that's the
depends.
thing though. That's the thing. Well, that's what I'm saying though. That's why you have to go into doing things for you. Like
Mm-hmm.
because you know it's the right thing to do, because you know you need to clean out, like your hair needs to stay brushed because it'll be healthy that way. But if
Mm-hmm.
But
you're
maybe
only
some people don't like it brushed.
if
Maybe they
you're
like it.
No, but that's just called being lazy. Like that's
No,
just
it could just be their
no.
style.
That's
It could be
just
their style and
no.
stuff.
That's just making up an excuse so that you don't
Mm-hmm.
actually have to put in work. You don't have to do anything. People know if you brush your hair, it's gonna be healthier. Or if you
Not really.
if you
You rip
wash,
your hair more
if you
often you
wash your
brush them.
hair, yeah, no.
You lose more hair if you wash them more often too.
All right, you're doing like semantics and come on. Yeah, I
It's
would hope
50-50 with that.
I would hope you understand the point.
No, but I'm trying to explain the point too. It's 50-50 with that. It is what you're saying, but it's also could be that everybody has a different way of living. Everybody has their own
Nah.
beliefs.
No, absolutely.
You believe that
Some
it's
people know
healthy
it take
the
work.
other
That's
may
like
be
people want them to accept them for
Absolutely
being fat or big or whatever, right? So they know that because they didn't want to put the work. It's I ain't gonna lie, that word ain't gonna never
Everybody
get
got different.
that word ain't gonna never leave my head because I
no.
was talking to my baby about that cop out. That jump be true. Like a lot of people want to cop out of certain things that they know, because a lot of these people know they want to be fit. But just because they big, they be like, well, this is what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? It's easy just to do that because they don't take no work. You know what I'm saying? So the fact is, if you're
Could
running
be
away
that
from the
reason, but
work,
it could be a different reason.
No.
oh my gosh.
Yes, some people purposely don't wash hair too often because the doctor said if you wash them too often, you lose more hair. It's not healthy to wash them too often either. So, everybody got their
Yeah,
own thing.
no, but that's not the point. No. You talking okay, not washing your hair often and not washing your hair at all is two different things. Like
Well,
what?
that's different. I didn't say at all. I didn't say, like, let's say you don't want to brush it. Let's say, you want to keep it a certain way. Some people actually back in the day was a hairstyle where with a brush you mess up what do you call it? Where you make your hair have more volume by brushing it the opposite way so you can
Okay,
have
but
more volume.
that's different. You're actually still putting an effort into
Mm.
creating a
Your hair
style.
still
You're
messed up
still
though. The
creating a
same way if you were to wake
style.
up with it like that.
No. Cool.
I mean, I'm just trying to like
No, you're trying to make
express my view.
excuses for people who make excuses. Like, no.
Nah, but
No, that is not gonna help. That's not gonna help nobody. I'm telling you, you're gonna help keep people stagnant, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what we do in our mind. We rationalize so that we don't have to do the things that we don't want to do. That is a natural thing. We don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm. That's what we.
Some people just don't care looking a certain way, but
and
they
then
do
we
it to get
disguise it.
accepted.
No, we disguise it as being unique, as being different. That's it.
Yeah, there's a lot of unique
I
motherfuckers
do
out
things.
there.
I do things my way. I do it because I don't want to be a part of the crowd. No,
Yeah,
you just
that's
don't want to
true.
put it. You just don't want to put in the effort to do it. And now you hating on everybody else who did put the effort into it.
Mm.
If that's the reason,
They be like, I want to
but
be broke anyway. That's my lifestyle. Okay. All right.
I mean, everybody,
I didn't want
what
to
if
make
you
that
want
much
to
money
ride?
anyway. That's after. If you tried it at
Some
one point and
people.
then all of a sudden it ain't work for you, then you convince yourself you ain't want to do it anyways. That's when you just lying to yourself. Here you
I mean,
go.
yes, for the most part is what you guys are saying, but sometimes people have their own style and stuff. So
We can say that, but in that instance, no, that's just an excuse. It's a cop out.
You said some people who don't want to use deodorant. There's other natural deodorants. Like, what is they just trying to be so different. Um, like they can't wash their armpits. I'm not understanding. They can't
oh
shave.
yeah, I
What
worked
are
with
you
somebody
saying?
like that. It was
What about
disgusting.
people who choose not to use deodorant and they know they give off a smell? Like you're gonna have to rectify that. Like you don't care. Like that's just someone that's inconsiderate. There's so many ways.
But they don't smell themselves. They so used to their smell they don't smell themselves.
But they smelt themselves. You would have had to smell yourself at one point to. Oh, sorry, Shauna. You would have had to smell yourself at one point to disregard the smell. Like
Yeah,
everybody.
that's just wrong.
Yeah, everybody initially recognizes an issue until you decide to disregard the issue.
So I
Well,
definitely
for
agree with
example,
what
like
you're saying
And what
in
about
regards to
different
like
religions
deodorant.
or different people who want to do different things and not put chemicals in their body? Then when you go the natural way or different ways, then what?
Wait, who's talking? Who was
Who was
just
that
talking?
talking? Right, I can't
No, I
tell.
didn't even see the mic.
I didn't see a mic either.
Was that Riri?
It
I
was
thought.
me. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Who?
you said how about people that what?
People who are like from different religions or people who want to go natural and don't want to put chemicals in their body, they try different things. You just got to find what works for you. Everything is not going to work for you, but you're going to go through those trials and tribulations of it might make you stink. You know, this might not work for you, but you got to find something that works for you. Whether you want to put the aluminum deodorant on or you want to go natural.
Yeah, but you're talking about people who's actually putting in the effort to figure it out, right?
Right. And who knows
Okay,
if
so
somebody who stinks is not going through that though.
We're not doing excuses.
yeah, we're not talking about judging these people. We're just talking about when people use the cop out excuse that I don't wear deodorant because that's just
That's just lazy.
yeah, that's what we were talking about. That's what we were saying.
Yeah, that's just lazy and that's just nasty.
Yeah, and I'm about to say that's culture that you were talking about. That's more of a cultural thing. So they all kind of doing the same exact thing, and they don't look at deodorant the same way. You know what I'm saying? They might get different things that they do in place of that, anyways. So
Right, but they not just going
yeah,
around stinking, not doing nothing. You get what I'm saying? That's lazy.
some of them
That's just
stink. I ain't gonna lie
nasty.
though. So they just live with it. It ain't really natural, but they eat. They eat
But in their
differently.
culture or their religion is normal for them.
Yeah, it's normal. Yeah, I get that. I get that
It's
though.
normal for
But
But
if
them,
you
but
outside your
yeah.
culture and your religion, you're around other people, then that's not normal though. That's the thing, right? Like
But we
we
have
have
to accept different cultures just like we want people to accept our cultures and different cultures. We gotta accept that.
no, we don't have to. I don't have to
we
accept.
just saw.
I don't have to accept that you don't wear deodorant and it offends me. I don't have to accept that you're offending me if you don't wear deodorant. I don't have to accept that. I don't want to accept that.
So what you gonna do? You gonna make them put on deodorant?
No, I'm gonna say you funky, and I'm gonna tell everybody around that you funky.
And you could do that. You could do that too, but it's just how you do it too. And then maybe they'll
No,
be
you don't.
comfortable
That's the thing, though. Why we think that we gotta accommodate everybody else?
because you don't know what everybody is going through. Everybody is going through different things.
Some people just going through laziness. You know what I'm saying? That's how
Exactly. Or that could be a mental problem, or that could just be depression, or it could just be them being lazy and nasty too.
So what you say about the protective hair in the comments? I'm sorry, my phone just started working, Kev. I'm sorry, this is bumping
There
in. But
you go. Get that phone working. There we go.
what was you talking about in the comments, Shiny Poo, about the protective hair? I didn't understand what you were saying.
I got 4C hair. So when I know I put my hair up in braids or something, that's what I call a protective hairstyle because I know with my 4C coarse hair, yes, I could wash it, grease it, but it's still going to be that thick, coarse hair that I have to deal with on a daily basis if I don't have a protective hairstyle like braids and different things like that. I'm African American. So in my culture, we do braids when we want to protect our hair and when we don't want to go through things of doing our hair so we don't have to perm it and put chemicals in our hair.
So are you one of the 4C people that if you have your hair like in a like a ponytail, you don't never comb it, you just let it like get like the limb balls in it and
No, I comb it and pick it out. But then again, sometimes I throw a bonnet on it too.
don't do that. Shine the pole. That
I'm
bonnet is for the
gonna
house.
throw a bonnet on it
No.
because I'm gonna throw a bonnet on it.
Why?
Wait,
Because,
you run out the house?
because if you really have coarse hair and 4C really coarse hair, you know what it takes to manage that. Everybody hair type is different. You really know what it takes. And sometimes I'm in a rush and I don't have time to actually, you know what I'm saying, take the time to do that unless I do it the night before or whatever the case may be. And sometimes a bonnet is easier for me to throw on it until I get to that project, which is my hair. And they always be like, well, and then you come to the different cultures or the white people who be like, oh, well, we used to wear bonnets. You watch Little House on the Prairie. Oh, they had things to cover their hair. Or back in the slavery days, you know, they had things to cover they cover their hair. And there was nothing wrong with that.
Guys, I need a lobotomy.
There's nothing wrong with you covering your hair.
So
Maybe it's the bonnet that people are judging because it may make you look lazy, But okay, so if I don't put a bonnet and I put a scarf on and I'm still covering my hair, then
I
what's wrong with
I
that?
get you. I actually get you on that, Shane. I was thinking about that too, though. Like,
Because
what
what's
is
wrong
the
with that?
difference though? Because of how people perceive you, and that go back to the acceptance thing. We're talking about the thing, so I can get that though. Because
And you
yeah, I
can
get you
say
on
what
that.
you want to say.
Well,
It's how you say it. You can't be like, oh yeah, you stink, or you got a body nose, so you look ghetto and ratchet to me. Like what?
Yeah, I get you on that. I get you.
I'm gonna come at you
um,
all the way sideways how you came at me. But if you be like, girl, why you wearing a bonnet today? What's under that? What's under there? Do you want to help me do my hair, or are you trying to understand what's under and
one
why I have this bonnet on?
one
Or
thing I
if I don't
realized,
wear a bonnet and I wear a wrap,
one
because
thing
you
I
could put
oh
wraps on your
damn.
hair and make them look super cute,
I'm
and
gonna
my
let y'all
hair
have
could
it.
be
I'm gonna let
matted
y'all
and
have it.
messy as ever
Hold
underneath.
up, real quick,
Okay.
y'all. Let my
Well, I
baby
was just
come in.
gonna say one thing I realized after like black women, we make whatchamacallit, we add more stress to ourselves than we need to. And in terms of our 4C hair, right? It's really because the hairstyles that we would do would not be accepted by general like
Yep.
population. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
We don't feel that we are as cute, you know, if you twist up your hair or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause even I'm going through this where I'm like, dang, I want to switch up my style. But honestly though, going through like, oh, I have to braid my hair, which takes hours out my day just to like not have to do it again. But the thing is, like, even in your natural state, you really don't have to do that much. I think honestly, most black women are uncomfortable with their natural hair at its natural state.
Right. There you go. You went
To
right.
be
You went
honest.
right to that thing, Rachel. You went right to the point. That was my point, kind of. But
And
you
that
really
may be
drove it
true. And
home.
that may be true. Okay, but just like she said, okay, we don't feel comfortable because why? They say like it looks nappy and this and none of that. But if we come together as black women and I understand your struggle. So therefore, if I see you in a wrap or a bonnet, I either know that you about to do your hair is not done, or whatever the case may be, and you put that bonnet on. But that's me understanding our culture. You get what I'm saying?
Nah,
That doesn't mean
No,
okay,
boys,
so
girls,
white
we
people
got our
didn't
culture.
understand our culture
y'all
and that's why
made
we
it the
permed our hair.
culture. Y'all added that stress. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like y'all keep saying like protective style. That is not the only way. Like you figuring out how you gonna do that 8-hour braid is not the only protective style you got. Believe me, there's protective style with your own hair. There's ways to wrap your hair with a satin bonnet or whatever. I
And
think
when you see
the,
me in my
the thing
natural
is
state, don't
no,
judge if it doesn't
no,
look like what you
no,
think
but
it's
the
supposed
thing
to
is
look like.
no, but the thing is you're thinking you the way it's supposed to look like is like you having a twist out. You know what I'm saying? Like you doing all this stuff to make your curls pop or something like that. And you really don't have to. And the thing about the bonnet is it looks like rather than do something simple with your hair, you just put something over it. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't take effort at all. So what it just says to people is like, did you even take a step in the mirror? Did you like what did you do today?
But then that's you judging that, and then when people be like, I don't care what nobody thinks about me, and they give that I don't give a F attitude, and people be like, why are you like that? And they develop that, then
No, but
what?
no, be
Hey, you know
honest though.
what?
Be honest.
I think
No,
I noticed the difference though with the scarf and the bonnet though. You ever notice that the
there's
bonnet
a
usually
difference.
had your hair looking terrible under there, but the ones with the scarf, their hair be fixed though. Like a lot of their
There's
hair
a
be already
difference.
done.
There's definitely a
Wait.
difference. I don't know if it's fixed under there, but there's definitely an effort that is put in. To be honest, majority of the time when you did put a bonnet on, did you actually go and like take like was it like fast? You had to run out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like putting pajamas on. It's something fast.
Y'all
Like
perceive.
you said, who has time? Sometimes some people don't have time for that eight
No,
hours or whatever
I
the case may
I
be.
get I get what you're saying, but
So if you
let's
judge a
not
person
let's not
right off of that, then
I I get what you're saying. I'm saying let's not act like the judgment is not fair. It's a fair assessment. it's a fair judgment to think that you did not take the time to prepare yourself today.
That's good.
So
But
if I put on a
I need to
wig
go.
underneath and then I put on a bonnet on top of that to protect that, and I come out, you don't know if I take off this bonnet if it's a lace front or whatever it is under that. Just like with the scarves. Okay, the scarves might take extra time because you gotta wrap it and all that other stuff. And a bonnet you could just throw on, but that doesn't mean that my hair is not done underneath. It's another protective over your hair, like a scarf.
Yeah, one took more effort. But I think
black
that
women aren't the only women who wear bonnets. So do you feel that way
it's
Yeah,
across the
not
that's
just
board?
what I'm.
about the bonnet. It's not just about the bonnet.
But
And then
I mean, but
somebody who's
still, if
not
we're
black
using the
wear a
bonnet,
bonnet
if we're
and
using
be
the
judged
bonnet
at
as
it.
an example, do you feel that way across the board? When you see other women, other races of women
Right.
wear bonnets?
No, they were the people that wear bonnets. They literally wear it every day for like a religious or
I'm
whatever.
asking the race.
No,
Like,
yeah,
does it?
the ones, yeah, the
So
ones
who's
that
the
I've
ones that
seen,
you're
the ones
referring to?
like the Amish community, right? They wear bonnets.
Okay.
Yeah, so they believe a woman should be covering their hair, right?
Okay.
So
Okay,
why
yeah.
so
So
why
no,
is
what?
it a
No, hold on
problem?
1 second. Hold on. I'm not saying it's a problem. I'm just saying recognize the purpose behind each one. One of them has purpose. Those women generally get up,
Both.
they do their hair, and they put their bonnet on.
They split their hair in a ponytail and then
Okay,
they put it on. It's a
so
different
They both
styles
It
of
serve
them.
doesn't
purpose.
matter.
Rachel, so I want to say,
They both serve
so
purpose, though.
regardless if you agree to it or not, it has a purpose, and this is like a 2 point part. So it does has a purpose. A black woman wearing her bonnet does have a purpose, regardless if you agree to that purpose of or not, regardless if you like why she's wearing that bonnet or not. So if the purpose of it is to simply cover her hair, it still serves a purpose. Secondly, we have to get rooted into understanding. You may feel as if, oh, it doesn't take much to do your hair, but when there has generally been a whole time of when we didn't know what to do with our hair, there's something called muscle memory. A lot of women may care or want to do more or something or anything to their hair, but there was a point of time from generation to generation where it was passed down where we could not do anything to our hair. There was a point of time where
That's over.
we were told we had to cover our hair.
That's
But
over.
even when we did cover our hair, queens in other countries looked at it as
We
high
not
status
queens.
and they started to do it as well. So the problem becomes with you. Why do you care so
It's
much for what?
disgusting. It's
No, it's
nasty.
not.
So
No,
It's
let
it's
me
so
not.
say
nasty.
this real quick,
Rooted in
y'all.
It's
Let me
self-hatred.
disgusting.
It's
yeah,
Lazy
let me
rooted
That's
in
ass.
self-hate.
hold on
self-hatred.
real quick, y'all.
That's how
Y'all know
you
about to
feel
do that.
about you feel disgusting
All right,
about
hold up.
yourself.
I guess y'all can't hear me or something like that. All right. So let me say this real quick, cause yeah, I can tell this junk triggered y'all. So off rip, if y'all missing the whole entire point, nobody didn't say that neither one had a purpose. One of them is that the whole point was effort. And that's why I mentioned that some people, if you take that bonnet off, it look a mess under there. It look like they didn't even try it, like they just got up and threw that on. Some people are actually protecting their hair, right? Or and I ain't gonna say protect, they actually protecting the work that they actually put under there. So they actually did their hair, then threw a bonnet over. So we know majority of the time people that throw that bonnet on their head, it looked like a troll doll under there. We already know to deal with that situation. So we're trying to compare these two other people. One actually put effort in and one of them didn't. Different. So we're not, y'all missing the whole entire point
I can
that
speak
it's
to that.
about the effort and it's about, because we was just talking about laziness. We was talking about that at first.
I can
You know,
speak
we
on
just
that
use that
too.
as did you hear anything I'm saying?
Yeah, but I can speak on that. You comparing slipping a hair into a ponytail knot with fine, simple hair to having to stand up, regardless, even if you try to simply say, oh, it's not too much effort. You got to condition it. People with 4C hair, I got to stand
Nobody
there and
not saying
condition
that
it.
it's not hard to, no, you missing the point. Nobody's saying that it don't take work. The fact is, one of them is putting in effort and one of them is not. People rather go the lazy route and just throw something on their head. We were just talking about laziness. We were just talking about that with anything, because some people like to use things as a cop out and say this. It takes so much. That's why I can't lose weight. It takes so much. That's why this baby weight. This is baby weight fat. and whatever, but they had baby fat for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? That makes no sense. So we got to get to a point that some things is just rooted in laziness, and
No, you're
people just don't
comparing
want to
apples.
put in that work. So they
You're
rather
comparing
just say,
apples to oranges. My
Hold on,
lazy,
Godiva.
you're
Hold on,
comparing.
hold on, Godiva. Hold on,
damn,
Because
Godiva.
my
these
God.
women
I know,
hair.
Godiva. Just let him finish, though. Please, just let him finish his
That's,
point.
I don't think she really want to know. She just want to, I don't know what's going on though. But if it
I
hurts you,
could
it
say
hurts
the
you. It
same.
is what it
No,
is.
I could say the same as well because you're literally ignoring the fact that these women do not have to put in the work compared to
How
every
hard is it to
single
throw a bonnet
day.
on your
Hold on
head?
1 second. Okay, there's like a miss. There's something going. Okay,
No,
so
the thing is, she in with it's defense that's going on right now.
yeah.
She's
Okay,
It's
so
not defense because I
hold on.
actually
Let
do
me
my
try to
hair.
get her. Let me try to get her back. So the conversation is about acceptance, right? The same way we can get up, we literally can get up and not have to do as much. But the thing is, as Black women, we want people to accept our hair a certain way, but we don't accept ourselves in its natural way. We don't. So it honestly does not take that much if you were to just do your natural hair. I have 4C right now, short hair. You get what I'm saying? All I do is literally I don't have to do a twist out, right? Because we keep trying to do twist outs, right? Because we want people to accept it a certain way. You
I get
want
what you're saying,
no,
Rachel.
listen, no, you want the curls to pop, right? Because that's acceptable. You want I don't know, you may want it to look longer because to you that's acceptable. You really don't have to do that much for your hair to look good, to look like you actually put an effort into it. All you literally just need some water and conditioner.
That's still more than what
Because
another.
if we
That's
don't
still
care about
more than
acceptance, then what's wrong
that.
with the bonnet?
That's still more than what the other people have to do. They don't even have to do that. But
Yes,
let's
they
say
do. What?
them
What?
them
Have you
women
ever seen? Have
they
you
can
ever
get
seen? Hold on. Have
hold
you
on,
ever
no,
seen
because
a
I
white
allowed
tee?
you to talk,
Hold
Rachel.
on
I
one
allowed you
second.
to
Have you
talk,
ever seen
Rachel.
a white
I
tee
allowed you to
person
talk,
get
Rachel.
up?
They can literally
Hold on 1 second. Have you ever seen a white tee person get up and not brush their hair? It looks like a wet. Like, have you ever seen them not wash their hair? They miss 1 day of washing. They look like their hair is super oily. I'm saying we making excuses for not being able to do our own hair and keep our own natural hair. Like y'all making excuses. Go ahead, Godiva. I apologize for muting you. I just had to get that out. But go ahead, Godiva.
it's not an excuse. It's trying to get you to understand. And it's like I allowed you to talk, and once I'm trying to say something, you muting me. I was respectful. You ain't had to even try to mute me when you were talking because I didn't cut you off. So give me that same respect. When they hop in the shower, they can literally hop in the shower and hop right on out and don't have to do anything. But I do have a question. Y'all are saying because not everyone's hair is the same. So let's say I get up and y'all are saying about acceptance, and let's say I just spritz something on it and pat it, we're happy and we're brothers pat to my little fro and then walk out the door. Are y'all gonna be saying something then about that as well? Because I'm trying to see where the line is drawn at for the people who feels it's disgusting. No, because that wasn't acceptable. That's why they invented perms and all these hot combs and curliners. Right, that's my point. So, because if I was to
Hey, at
just
the end of the day, you really don't have to accept nothing we saying up here. Speaking of the topic, so you just don't have to accept it. So keep being you. If you happy with what you're doing and your bonnets and stuff, stay doing you. You don't have to accept
I don't wear
other
bonnets.
other
I don't
opinions.
wear bonnets,
That's
but I
cool though. So
also
you
speak
fighting
for
for
those
it like you
women.
wear it though. So the thing is, you can either accept what we
I
saying
wear
or
head
not. So
wraps and I do my natural hair.
that's cool. You don't have to prove nothing to me. You don't have to prove nothing to
No,
me. I'm just
I'm not
saying that
proving it. I'm
I'm not
telling you.
looking to
I'm
accept
correcting
anything
you.
either. We just said our part of why people do what they do and talk about how we feel that it's lazy sometimes. We can be the right or wrong. It is what it is. You can accept it or not. Like at
All
the end
right,
of the
I'm
day,
letting y'all know y'all are wrong and y'all can
that's
accept that
cool.
or
That's
not.
cool though, right? Every
All
lazy
right.
person thinks somebody wrong when somebody say put in work. So of
And
course they're
every
going to
wrong
do that.
person thinks
Just
they're
like a
right.
person that want to eat
And
all
every
day
wrong
and
person thinks they right.
just like every person that want to eat
And every
all
wrong
day
person thinks they right.
okay, we
Yeah.
get you. We get you. All right, cool. You got your point up.
Anyway,
There you
can I
go.
get
I'm
Right.
not dealing with this shit on a Sunday tape.
Right.
I'm not.
So let me finish
I'm sorry.
I just want to finish my point real quick. The point is that The point is that a lot of us, we just want to, and I'm keep on using that word. Not my baby don't put me on it now. People like to. It's a cop out nowadays. Everybody want to make an excuse to be lazy and not put in no work. We want to just say this is just how I am, and we want to compare it to other people that ain't us. We know. Well, a lot of times we want to be this certain way, but we rather take pills nowadays. Okay, I'm not gonna put in the work because I can't to work out. I'm just gonna take this quick pill that say slim body. You know what I'm saying? We do stuff like that, and that jump probably harming our body more than anything. A lot of the times we always counter ourselves of what we really want, but when it don't work in our favor, we want to say, well, that's just how I am, or I can't do that. You can't, and who are you to tell me this? We always want to say that we in defense. But then our lifestyle counters what we speaking on out of our mouth. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the reason why a lot of us ain't where we at is because we're freaking lazy. That's just what it is. We don't want to put in the work. It's all about that microwave life.
You know who
That's
said
why.
that?
That's
That white
that's the
man.
that's the
That
reason.
white man
That's the
said the
reason.
same thing.
That's the reason why. Boy, my gosh, I done triggered everybody in this thing. Everybody get triggered when it come to work. Everybody get triggered when it come
Instant
to work.
gratification or
Yeah.
taking the easy way out or a
Yeah, that's
shortcut.
what it is. That's exactly what it is, and that's the reason why we. No, actually, no, well, like you ain't have to do that. But no, she was on my side. She actually get it though. But I'm just saying that off rip, right? That is why we can't get the person that we want. This is why we can't. That's why we can't get the job. We can't get to the success that we want because we freaking lazy. We don't even want to take time with ourselves. We say loving ourselves is just going to the freaking jacuzzi and getting something, but we ain't even work on our mental issues. We can't even work on having a conversation while having to cut somebody off every minute because we get triggered. We ain't work on that either. You know what I'm saying? Because we are lazy. Because we want to say, well, this is just the way I am. You see what I'm saying? So this the base of this is the whole exact thing. That's the reason why we can't take in something that's the opposite opinion of us for one quick second. That's why we so in a rush to open our mouth on everything because it makes us feel uncomfortable. But we're comfortable being lazy, and that's the root of this whole situation. But y'all can go ahead. I think Warlock wanted to get in, but we got to get Apples in, and then Professor, and then we can go back to an open panel.
Oh, honestly, Kev, I don't even want to get in on this shit because I just came from a live when we was talking about lazy ass people. I'm not doing this shit today. I'm just gonna let y'all talk because I'm gonna go left with this shit.
That was a lazy response. All right, we gonna get somebody else up here.
So don't you start with me, goddammit. Don't you start with me. I'm gonna tell it to you like now you're gonna make me fucking talk. Now you're gonna regret this
There
shit.
you go.
I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm not gonna change the subject on this, but next time I'm going after somebody's head, you're gonna let me go after that damn head. I'm letting you know
She
right
did,
now.
and
When I
look,
thought
she
you
just
gonna
did
talk,
me like that, so I had to accept it. I like, you know what? She just calmed me down. All right, that's cool. You're not
you
the
know
only
I
one.
ain't accepting that shit. When I'm on somebody's head, don't cut me off and let them.
And as an adult and
She's
a
gonna go
person who's
all the
trying
way
to
across the
understand
damn
or
state.
who's trying to change or who's trying to learn, you
I
got to
could have
be able
swore
to
I was still
accept
talking at the
constructive
moment.
criticism.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
I could have
That's
swore I
true.
was still talking at the moment. Jesus, man. Kev, they just don't want to let the Green Hulk lie in his grave, man. They just want to keep resurrecting that motherfucker. Anyway, Rachel,
Warlock. Hey, Warlock. Calm down, Warlock.
I don't know who that is, but you know
Hey,
what?
I do want to shout out Shan.
Hold on, Kev.
I know
You
I'm gonna give it to you.
interrupted me, goddammit.
I just want to shout her
I
out
know
real
you the
quick.
fucking host, but damn it.
I just want to shout her out. You be right back. You be all right. I'm just saying. I do want to shout out to Shani Poo because she actually just sat here for a minute because we was actually all of us going back and forth, but she took her time. That's even with Rachel, right? She had to shoot Rachel had to articulate something that they couldn't understand earlier. And I do want to shout Shan because she actually she must have came in here with the intent of actually trying to learn something, right? So even though she might, some things might have made her uncomfortable, but she actually started trying to hear us out. So I think that's very needed. She came in here with the right intentions and stuff. Moonlight, half and half. I say half and half, but we can see that some stuff was triggering. She didn't. But we'll get to that though. I mean, I think she tried, but Shani, she stood out more. You know what I'm saying? So I do
You
give
got to
it
be
to
able
her.
to understand people.
Yeah, that's all it is though. But go ahead on Warlock. You can finish up, man.
I realize who the hell that was in about it. Girl, look, let me tell you something, girl. I'm gonna make this real brief. The Green Hulk is back. And I'm on a fucking rampage right now, so forgive me. Go ahead, Kev. I'm done.
All right, let's get Apples in, and then Professor after that. What up, Professor? Oh no, we got to get CC in too. So Apples, CC, and then Professor. I think that's how the order went.
My turn.
Yeah, it's on you. What you got for me?
Okay, I don't really think that we want to be accepted. We would just want to be respected because I feel like we have a strong identity because we know that we come from like all over the place and they try to get us to just conform or confirm or I don't know to fit in a box that they have, set up their realities on. And it's not really a thing of like us going out of our way to ask for their respect. We just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know that the movie The Incredibles when the little boy he was like super fast, the one with superpowers, and then his teacher was like, "I know y'all see what he doing. Like right there, he just moved." That's how everybody doing us as black people. Like they're literally taking our culture. Like you can literally see it. And okay, so my husband is in the military and he has some Hispanic friends, and this man literally asked me to put some box braids in his head. A Hispanic man, and he was like, "No, cut it and make it look like dreads." You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't necessarily think that it's the thing of wanting to be accepted. We just want to be respected. Like
Okay, so let's put it in your term then. Why do we want to be respected so bad?
It's not a thing of wanting to be respected. It's like I said.
What? You better make your mind up. I just changed it to you.
Listen, it's a thing of wanting to be respected. Because listen, just like the little boy, when you watch Incredibles, like I said, when the little boy moving so fast, he put the tack on the teacher's seat and the teacher sit down and it prick him on the ass. And that's his problem with the little boy. But everybody think that the teacher crazy because they don't see what the little boy doing. You get what I'm saying? We not fishing for or wanting to be angry. Like we're not rage baiting ourselves. You get what I'm saying? The world is asking, why does the world want us to be quiet so bad? Why they become us? Why do they want us silent so bad? That's the question. I don't think that we want to be accepted. I just feel like, you know what, like this our space. And if some of us are doctors and lawyers and, you know what I'm saying, people like Jasmine Crockett and some of us wear bonnets to go spend their food stamps, then so be it. It's a lot of us. You know what I mean? Like, I get why some people like, no, don't do that. But at the same time, it's like you're disrespecting somebody of the same skin as you because you feel like they making your people look bad. But at the end of the day, they don't respect us no way, no how. So it don't really matter.
And it makes it harder when it's your own race coming against you. Just like I said, back in the day, their bonnets was different from the bonnets that we wear today. But just like Toya Wright, she made bonnets to where they had bedazzles and they was cute, and she actually wore it out with an outfit to the club, and it was actually cute. It looked like a hat. It's all about how you wear it, how another person is going to accept it.
It still look like trash. It still look
But
like trash.
I don't wear bonnets out. I wrap my head like Erykah Badu do them type. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't wear a bonnet out in public. Like unless I'm like going through a drive-through. If I'm going through a drive-through, then I'll keep my bonnet on. If I'm not getting out the car, like if I'm dropping my kids off at school, if I'm not getting out the car, I'll wear my bonnet. But I'm not wearing my bonnet to where I'm getting out the car. I wrap my hair.
And that's what I said with different styles. Some people don't wear bonnets. Some people wrap their hair.
Yeah, I wrap
And
my
it's
hair.
a totally different look, but you're still putting something on your head, whether it's done or it's not. But it's a totally different look.
Yeah, but you know, I care about my hair differently. Like I'm weird because people always be like, I never really heard anybody break it down like that. But see, okay, so I'm African Americans, okay, you know what I'm saying? So I'm African and American, okay. So this stuff is fine and this stuff is pinky, okay. So around the edges, it's like really soft, really fine. But before when I used to let people just do my hair, it used to break off real bad and real easily. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like the at the root our hair is wavy, so you can run a comb through our root, but then it get caught at the ends, and that's because the ends is where it get frizzy, and our hair locks up like super fast, and people keep trying to group all of our hair the same and just make it seem like it's all the same, but it's really not. Because that's why some people when they be wearing like wigs stuff, they get
wearing a bonnet though.
You said what?
What is that? Y'all missing the point. If somebody see you, right? My grandma used to say this to me. If I see somebody at the store with their pajamas on, you know what I think? I said, what? They didn't wash their ass today. And I was like, why do you care? Why do you care? She was like, I don't want to touch their hand. I don't want them to touch my food. I don't want them to touch anything. You don't care about yourself enough to get out of the bed, wash your face and your behind before you come out and mingle with us, people out here that's kind of being civilized. So why do we keep on trying to make excuses to be more not civilized and not
Some
try to make a way to be like
some people
comb
be
your
at
hair, like a
home.
basic thing? It don't make sense, y'all. I'm 46 years old, right? It does not make sense how many young men are like, you know why I like you? I ain't trying to say you no beauty or nothing like that, but that's your real hair. It is so easy to get a man these days, and a lot of y'all missing dudes simply because you wear bonnets all the time because they look at you and say, oh, I don't want that for a wife. She won't even comb her hair. And when y'all talking about scarves, wrapping your hair up, all those things, not just to men, to women too. They look at you and say she cares about herself because she takes pride in how she carries herself. She combs her hair. She washes her butt. She don't bedazzle, and put a bedazzle on something that I know you ain't combed. This is like basic care for
I leave my
yourself.
baby. I
Or
leave my
maybe
baby
it could
hairs
just
on
be
in
a
the front in
preference
my
of
no,
somebody. Maybe that's y'all know that's all it is. Stop, cut it.
Yeah, when I wrap my hair, I wear my baby hairs out in the middle. So
God, we ain't talking about no baby hair. We talking about bonnet.
Lord, okay,
it was
okay,
my
hold
turn
on a
about the
second.
prompts, and like I said, I don't ever wear my bunny out when I go anywhere. But when I wear my hair wrap, as you can see in my profile picture, that's my natural hair. That's my curly fro after I cut it the first time, and I just shaved my head again. Soon as my baby hairs came in, I wrap my hair and I leave my baby hairs out in.
Okay, apples. This is not a hair class or course. We're
No
talking
one's
about.
giving a hair course. This is bunnies versus scarves, and I said I wrap my hair up and I do my baby hair.
Okay, there you go. Just stop right there. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so Professor, go ahead, Professor. What you want to say?
Damn. Hi. Peace to the panel.
We just come to sit down, Professor. Don't come over here starting.
Trust me, I know. I'm gonna let it go. Sure. Damn, boy. Anyway, okay. To be black is a common experience for most of us. We all don't have the same monolithic experience, but we have a general experience. Hence the melanin, and then the characteristics that come with it. Most men also have 4C, just like our ladies have 4C. It is so annoying to hear y'all don't understand. Yes, we do. It's called integrity, dignity, honor, class, and respect. If you motherfuckers don't know those terms, that means you don't have them. It's simple as that. Let me go straight to the prompt. I was about to go on. Race, culture, religion, family, friends, etc. Why be loyal to them? Because that is what is a representation of yourself. Those who also represent you, even though you're the representation of yourself, you have to know your experience in the land that you are in. And in the land that we are in, a lot of y'all behaviors also represents me, regardless if I'm separate from you, because we look similar. So if you have integrity, honor, dignity, you would understand that. But if you're only self-absorbed, you don't give a fuck. That's why you don't care. At some point, it's common sense. It's not even at some point. It is common sense to know that you don't wear pajamas outside. That means you're unkept. You're not maintenance. You have no integrity. You have no discipline. And you don't even take the time to prepare. That says a lot about us generally as a culture. We're not prepared.
Integrity is more to do with being honest.
Fair enough. But,
Okay.
but all I was just getting at, just to level us back, going straight back to the prompt, to the next one. What makes something lame or cool? That's just people's social opinion.
We're not running through the. It's just the
Okay,
green.
my bad.
Yeah,
My
the
bad,
green
my
is
bad.
the first one. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but I
Why do
appreciate
we?
you.
Okay, why do we want to be accepted so bad? Because we're not the majority and we don't run it. We have to exist here. So part of our existing needs some acceptance so we can then be normal. We need it to be accepted in some degree so we can be normal, right? There's
That makes
parts of
sense.
there's rules that we got to follow. If we didn't make them, you got to follow them. So, as a
That's a
man
good
with
one.
locks, and I'm 34 and I got college degrees, no kids, without marriage, I still know if certain jobs I'm gonna have to do, if they ask me to cut my hair, I gotta know that comes with it. I might be a compromise to the job. I might be something to where it makes a risk. Being a firefighter with locks, if I don't wrap them, is a compromise. I might have a health concern to myself or others. I'm too worried about the wrong thing. And then lastly, if I then decide to do any of these professions that I don't make the rules to, I'm upset about the rules that they make so you can then abide by them so you can work under them efficiently. That's a self problem because you also selfly applied for that damn job. Know where you at, know the laws of the land, and know what it is. That's all I'm saying. And the reason why we need acceptance, or why do we want acceptance, is so we can just have just similar living to where we don't have to worry. Now, somebody said earlier, do you notice that other people get to roll out the bed and they just get to get up? Who the fuck cares? That's not your life. What does the next person got to do with you being disciplined and maintaining yourself? And make sure that you have integrity and respect about yourself. Just because they let that person slide, which is the exception, does not mean that's the general situation. If I'm over there constantly looking at what the other person can do too much of, and they ain't me, I'm worried about the wrong shit. Because once again, I don't own shit here. I can't make the rules unless I made my own shit. You just got to know where the hell you at. So at least to ourselves, if I'm a black person that has 4C hair, and I'm like, man, you embarrassing us, or where's your integrity and dignity when you come out in a bonnet or sweatpants or pajamas? Because I know that your image kind of still affects me, even though we're separate. We're only 14% of the population over here in this land. So even though if I've done everything that I could do in my power to break myself of all the black negative male statistics, don't have kids without marriage, make sure you never go to jail, get college degrees. Oh, you wear locks, but I don't have none of the negative whatevers. It still don't change that I still have an image to uphold. And I can't worry about everybody else because I only have to worry about myself. But then I also have to be mindful about everybody else's image still affects me. Just leave it at that. Those words I led with are the things I'm going to end with. Honor, respect, class, integrity, and dignity. If you don't know them, that's why it's a problem to you.
All right. All right. Well, who
You
didn't speak?
also said compromise too, though.
There's Cece was the last one that didn't get to speak.
What?
Yeah.
CC.
Don't go too
Hello,
long.
Mr. Kev.
You
No,
waiting
ma'am.
for the open panel.
No, ma'am. Be short. I ran to the store before it started raining. Um, the green one, why do we want to be accepted so bad today? I think because some people equal or equate happiness with
Just so I can take
Huh?
a picture. Ah, crap.
You sound like you
It's
under the
wet.
sea, Cece.
me, I do. Maybe it's my
Okay,
car.
now it's
All right.
better.
Okay. I think some people equate acceptance with like or love. I mean, because sometimes you hear it in songs and stuff, and they're like, "Well, this person accept me for who I am," so they equal that to this person loves me for who I am, or they like me for who I am, so they want to feel accepted by the people that they find attractive, or people in general. I guess maybe sometimes it's not even attractive; they just want to be accepted. Why? I'm not sure. I mean, I think sometimes it can follow up under insecurities, and I feel insecure about this, so I want you to accept it to make me feel better about my insecurity. Um, if that makes sense, because I felt like I kind of lost somebody there. But moving along, so I can make it short, we can go to open panel. Race, culture, religion, family, friends, etc. Why? Be loyal to them. For me, I'll say I can be loyal. My loyalty lies with my family. And when I say family, I mean my immediate family, my husband, my children. That's my loyalty. The reason why I say that is because me showing my children how loyalty works in their home is so that they can have their family, and also um they can also oops, was that
His
me?
stuff
That wasn't me.
glitching. His stuff was glitching. I couldn't even mute him.
Oh,
You got to come back up, Professor. Your stuff was glitching. We heard everything you was doing over there, boy.
but yeah, I try to be loyal to my children, my husband, to show my children what loyalty looks like, so that when they do create their own family, they can, pass down what loyalty to me, loyalty, love, like all of that is. For me personally, in my opinion is it's kind of wraps up into the same. So I do that for them. I keep that with them. Friends, I feel like friends come and go. I feel like loyalty, you have loyalty with friends or anybody else, and that can waver. Not saying they can't with your kids or your spouse, but I just feel like my commitment to my immediate family is loyalty. So yeah, it's a part of it. I'll land there. Hi.
Hey, I'm back, Kev.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Hey, Rachel, I know what you were saying. I like your prompts. I told you before, always get me right because they always go full circle. And I really appreciate you and Rachel and what y'all are doing because I definitely see where you're going. A lot of the conversations that we've had, I never answered the prompt. I'm just gonna say that first. But they're all the answers that we're hearing, they're kind of going right back to your prompt. So I always can appreciate that you do that, Kev. You kind of make us think. You have us answer the questions, but sometimes in the answers it still goes back to the prompt, right? About the bonding conversation, I'm just gonna say this real quick. It goes back to your question that's up there. And it's talking about the fear of rejection and what does that look like and what does it cause? And I think that bonded conversation is a direct correlation with that, right? Because like Rachel said, she said I don't have 4C hair. I have like 3 something. I don't know. I don't have 4C, but it's a struggle to maintain my hair naturally. I do understand it. And for the longest time, I didn't want to do it. I wanted to keep my relaxer. But the more I started to actually, what do you call it? Like kind of try to figure my hair out, if you will. I started appreciating things about myself that I never even appreciated before, right? So the natural hair thing goes so much deeper than what it looks like because you start learning stuff about yourself and appreciating who you are, because I didn't even know I had 2 different textures in my hair, right? But what back to your question on the prompt, the fear of rejection, I wanted to keep that straight hair because I didn't want to be rejected, or I feared being rejected because what will people think about this curly hair that I've had all my life? And I'm struggling with it because I don't even know what I'm going to look like tomorrow. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I done combed it out yesterday and I done did this twist set and I done did this and I did that. And once I got over like being concerned about whatever everybody else thought about not having my straight hair anymore, I loved it more. You know what I mean? I loved it more. I just started loving my hair more. And that was a turning point for me in my life. And I dig in and I go hard on that bonding stuff because like Professor said, a lot of it does have to do with dignity. A lot of it does have to do with class. And if you think that you're going to be able to walk around this world and this earth, and like Homegirl just said, or whoever that was, the Moon, about the oppressor ain't never stopped me from doing anything I wanted to do here in this good old earth that we live on. Anything I wanted to do, I've been able to do because I put in the effort and I wasn't lazy. So
because we found a excuse. Oppressor is an excuse today.
The oppressor is another excuse, like you said earlier, like you guys were saying earlier. It's a lazy thing because it's easier for me just to say it's point and say it's the oppressor, then I don't have to work on myself at all. A millionaire? No. I mean, but shoot, most people do. But anything that I wanted to work for and accomplish, nothing has stopped me except for me. I'm the only person that stopped me. But no oppressor could do that because you know, like someone else said, you're so busy looking at everybody else's lane, you get off focus on where you're supposed to be going. Stop looking back. Oppressors is maybe back in the day, yeah, there was a lot of oppression, and it still is to a certain extent. I'm not taking anything from that. But to sit there and act like somebody else is stopping you from something, no, you're stopping yourself because you keep telling yourself that you can't do it,
that you don't look as good, or you know, people going to feel a certain type of way about how you look. But it starts with you. But that's all I wanted to say.
Hey, I'm glad our ancestors didn't have that "it's the oppressor stopping us" mentality, because we wouldn't be where we at today. Imagine that. And they actually was going through it. They actually couldn't go in bathrooms because it said this color wasn't allowed and stuff or whatever. But they still found a way to push through and still move forward. That's the crazy part about it. And we got way less, more rights, more all this stuff, and still crying about the oppressors. That's how I'm like, we are weak. We just weak though. So I'm glad that our ancestors did not have this weak mentality we have now. Well, we gotta give up. It's their fault why I got these many kids. It's their fault why I can't become a family and stuff. It's their fault because they set the neighborhoods up with all these liquor stores, and I done heard that so many times with that stuff. Why you keep drinking it then if you know it now? What the heck? You know, you gotta admit that it's your issue. That's your issue that you addicted to drinking all the time and smoking and all this other stuff. That's what's oppressing you. That's your true oppressor. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing to do with that color of that skin. Because they ain't telling you how to regulate your life, and then let a YT man say something crazy to your face. I bet you check them, right? They ain't no longer oppressing you now. That's why I said this little selective oppression thing. That junk is so funny to me. Like, dog, y'all just come up with anything just to not admit that you're lazy. But it's good. I mean, lazy people play their part in the role. That's why they never be business owners. You know, that's the reason why they continue being workers and working at McDonald's, because y'all have a purpose. We were just talking about it in the last live. That'd be your purpose in life. It's just do that. Everybody got to play a part. Everybody can't be a business owner. So, hey, good thing everybody got that mentality. You know, some people are not as strong as others when it comes to certain things. Or their willpower. Everybody not meant to have that willpower. Some people just meant to make excuses all their life. So that's just what it is. All right, so y'all want to? Oh,
Yeah, no, well, we still have Big Kurt who hasn't spoken yet, but I just wanted to say something real quick before Kurt goes. Only because people keep saying like that's the oppressor's talking point. I cannot stand when people do that. Remember I was talking earlier on my live about like there's two different types of people that kind of lose themselves and lose their identity, right? And it's the person that's overly agreeable, you know, the one that conforms to every single thing and just kind of like does what they're told to do. And then the person who is on the other extreme side where they're just rebellious. In you rebelling, you're not allowing yourself to choose things that you would want to choose for yourself. Like you don't want to be aligned with oppressor talking points and oppressor clothing, oppressor education. Like what? So it's like you're still losing yourself. Like you're not being able to choose things for yourself. If it doesn't, it like dignity and pride, that doesn't just belong to the oppressor. So that's all I wanted to say. Hey, Big Kurt.
Hello?
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yep.
I'm in the rain, so I didn't know if y'all could even. But yeah, how y'all doing today?
What's up, Kurt? How you feeling?
I'm all right. Hey, I finally found out where Warlock been. I've been looking for Warlock. He used to be in Erla's lives all the time. I mean, he might still be there. I just don't be there that often. But either way, to the prompt. I heard y'all talking earlier. I'll address that after the prompt. But why do we want to be accepted so bad today? To be honest, I think to a certain extent, I think what Rachel just said, I'm glad you prefaced, before me getting in and saying what I had to say, because I was thinking the exact same thing. I don't think it's necessarily like a general consensus that we're all trying to fit in necessarily, but there is like extremes to it. Like there are people that are willing to short themselves, short others, just for a piece of this little game that's really monopoly, this game we call capitalism. And then there's other people that are like so rebellious, like they know that they have no control over the system, so they rather just try to crash out, destroy or mislead other people because it's like you said, the oppressor talk. It's a system. You're never gonna beat it. You know, they go far left to the losers bracket. And then there's other
Hmm.
people that want to be winners so bad that they'll throw their best friend under the bus, they'll throw their family under the bus, they'll throw their culture, race, everything under the bus to be accepted into the game. So that's the way I see the whole being accepted thing. I think there's uh, I don't want to put a percentage on it, but I feel like most people either are on the far extreme as far as like he said, very agreeable, people pleasers, or they just want to be rebellious, and that's where they lose themselves. Like he said, as far as putting in the effort, you know what I'm saying, trying to make a change, uh, trying to do something better for themselves. That's where they lose sight of themselves because, like you said, they get to blame it on somebody else, and the other people, like I said, they just want to accept whatever comes their way as long as they don't get picked out the bunch. They don't get a finger pointed at them. That's how I feel about the acceptance thing. As far as the talk you had earlier about the bonnets, I mean, we already know. I don't even know why people try to pretend like bonnets aren't what they are. It's sleepwear. It's the same as like somebody had said earlier, a man walking around Walmart in his pajamas. You'd assume a lot of there'd be a lot of negative assumptions about a man walking around Walmart in the middle of the day with his pajamas on. Outside of him just being unkept, you might assume he don't got a job because why he at Walmart in his pajamas in the middle of the day? There's a lot of things. Um, as far as like bonnets themselves, I don't think bonnets themselves are uh, contextually just bad. I think, to be honest, it's the people that wear them. I think people that are arguing for bonnets so bad, they should look at the people wearing the bonnets, cutting up on video all the time in a bonnet. We wouldn't be tripping about bonnets, or just like back in the day when they used to trip about do rags. Couldn't wear a do rag to school. Certain schools in my certain counties around here, you can't wear no do rag. You can't wear no type of headscarf, none of that. But it's because of the people that were wearing them. It wasn't because they had anything strictly against bonnets or do rags. Because the idiot that was cutting up in school, the people that decided to make themselves known, always got one on. And I heard some people trying to argue that it's like some type of headwear, like it's like a hat or whatever. If y'all really believe that, then like I said, the people that were wearing those and promoting bonnets before you decided to bedazzle yours were just cutting up in the streets. And I like what Professor said to a certain extent, even though we don't want to think about what other people are doing all the time, you know, we don't want to lose ourselves in comparison. We also have to realize that we're all tied together. And I think that goes with the first prompt: race, culture, religion, family, friends, etc. Why be loyal to them? Because you're tied to them, whether you like it or not. You're tied to a lot of these things. These are all representations of you, yourself. So when other people are putting out a bad image, of course you're going to take some offense to that. Because guess what? At the end of the day, it's still tied to you, even though you didn't do what they did. You know that everybody else outside of our demographic is going to look at us like a certain way under a certain lens because of what they did. So to try to, I feel like some people go with the extreme individuality too, and that's why they go with the I don't care. I don't care what other people think. Oh, why should I care what the oppressor or the white T man think? Whatever, whatever. You're doing that because, like I said, you're trying to have this hyper individualism to make it seem like you're just trying to be individualistic, but you're really, like you said, it's Kev being lazy. You didn't get up in the morning. You didn't go take the time to comb your hair, do whatever. And I heard some people talking about the difficulties of maintaining our hair. It's kind of crazy to bring that up when it's our hair. If anybody should be experts on maintaining our hair, it should be us. We shouldn't be still having difficulties trying to figure out how to maintain our hair when we've had it on our heads for so long, and our parents and their grandparents and everybody else. That's a problem within the community if we're not teaching our daughters and sons how to maintain their hair properly. But I'll land there. I just feel like y'all all kind of touched on everything before I got up here. I'm glad y'all did that. But yeah,
Yeah, I wanted to talk about the I'm sorry, Ms. Rachel.
No, go ahead. Go
If I may,
ahead.
if I may, I wanted to touch on the hair thing a little bit too, because I heard a lot of people say like, the had the assumption that other people, excuse me, other people can just roll out of bed and go, and that's not true. I've been around a lot of different people, let's say it that way, and they don't even roll out of bed and just go. We think that they do that. They don't. Some of them roll their hair at night, get up in the morning, and then take their rollers out, brush, then they shake, fluff, and go. Easy, yes, but they still maintain their hair. I had an aunt who had curly hair. She was German. She had curly hair, and she used to wet her hair in the morning and scrunch her hair up. It would take her 30 minutes, in the mirror, scrunching her hair up and curling it, all this stuff she do, flat on it, all that. So everybody has to maintain their hair, no matter what um race we are. Uh, I feel like the only ones who don't is maybe the men. They have short hair. They get up, they roll, they brush, they go. I mean, they're still maintaining it though. But I just wanted to say that I don't agree with bonnets wearing them out places. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For y'all that don't know, them waves take a million brushes. Okay.
I know my
Oh
husband been
yeah,
trying.
then we
Facts.
talking
She
about the
stay
do
on
rags.
scheme. Facts.
Look, he said do rags different. That's what I look at his
Same.
I look at his profile. He got a do rag on. Of course you gonna fight for it. You
Wait,
do
who said
rags
do rags
different.
different? Who said do rags different?
The one with the do rag.
Oh, so I didn't even see the comments, but nah, do rag is no different, bro. Because like
Said
I
when
JJ.
it
said,
hit
it's about
home,
the
I don't
people
want
that
to
be
hear
wearing
it.
it.
Right.
The headwear wouldn't even matter if the people that were wearing these things weren't making themselves known to be fucking menaces to society or doing stupid stuff. Like every video I've ever seen, as far as like fighting, and it includes our people, there's a bonnet somewhere in there, bro. There's do rags all up in there. You don't see nobody with well kept hair with the fresh hairline. Them people ain't fighting because they just got their hair done. They paid
Yep.
to make sure that they was well kept. They ain't out just bamming in bonnets and do rags. That's another point I think people just try to slide past when they try to defend bonnets and do rags and all the other stupid crap. Like y'all see the stuff, the
And
same stuff we
hats.
see. The same thing the supposed oppressors and white tea people see. You're all watching the same thing. This isn't exclusive to where only we've seen it. Like I don't even get why people try to defend that talking point. Like it'd be like trying to defend saggy. Like there's no way. There's no way.
My balls need air. That's why I got sag.
Need no defense for
Nah,
that.
sus. That is sus. I don't care what nobody says. It's always been sus. I ain't never understood that.
You know what? When dudes wear do rags, regardless if they got a haircut, I then question why. Your hair is already done. The whole point of the do rag is to stop you from messing it up when you go to sleep. When you come outside and it's
Yeah.
done, what's the point?
My boy
I
eating
think it's
good
the
in the
cheap people that ain't
neighborhood.
trying to get it redone,
Let me.
bro.
I want to answer this though. He said so. Do rags is a racial pro. So I think if we not being disingenuous, we know majority of these things tied to certain races for majority of the time. So that's just like asking is what's them things, them hijabs and stuff like that's not tied to a certain culture or race or something like that. So it's like, yeah,
Who
we
else
know
wearing
it's certain
doobies, bro?
things that majority of people wear. You know, it's not like to say that no black people don't wear hijabs or something like that. They probably do it too. But we just saying 9 times out of 10, who we gonna see with what? So most of the time we gonna see black men with do rags and bonnets on. Like we gonna see them with hijabs on or whatever. You know, usually different cultures wear different things and stuff. Just like we see YT people with the cowboy hats on. We
Hey,
rarely see
men
a
wearing
black person
bonnets
with
is
a
crazy
cowboy
though,
hat on.
bro.
So we know it's certain things that attach to certain races or different
When
races.
did men start walking around with bonnets though, bro? That's where I really lost. I feel like everybody lost the plot. Like, cause like I didn't understand it with the women. I definitely didn't like it. But it was even crazier when I saw teenage boys walking around with bonnets on. Like, did you steal that from your sister? Ain't no way that's yours. And then they'd be like, yeah, that's mine. They got custom bonnets. These dudes walking around with Louis V bonnets on and stuff. And like bait bonnets. I was like, Nike bonnets. I saw a dude with a Nike bonnet one time at the mall. I couldn't believe it. I didn't know, wait, any woman in your life let you walk out the house like that.
Not when they care about you, gonna let you do it.
Well, my mom would have smacked me so bad, bruh.
What was that called back in the day? Home training?
Keep
Yeah.
on strong.
And if
That's
your
what
mama
they
cared
do.
about you, she didn't let you leave the house any type of way. That's another thing I don't understand. Like, people talk about this and try to defend this stuff, right? But they know their mama would have never allowed this. They didn't get to do it when they were kids. But now all of a sudden, as adults, you backtracking? You going back?
I think some of their parents did though. I think that's the problem that we're seeing. I think a lot of their parents did. Like I was saying in the comments, like for me, it was a rite of passage for my mother to show me how to do my hair herself. It was a rite of passage. That was me becoming a young woman. You don't see that no more. You know what I mean? Everybody sitting up in the shop. Everybody got braids. Everybody got on bonnets. Everybody, you know what I mean? Like nobody's like to me as much as when I was growing up, showing you how to become an adult. to know how to maneuver in the world, to show dignity, to show class. Those things are not happening anymore. And so we run into people who like they want to defend something that is not even defendable. Because you can't tell me that somebody woke up in the morning, got in the shower, and then put their pajamas back on and went to Walmart. No, you didn't wash that. Cut it out. You're just making excuses for being trifling. It's trifling.
You know, another conversation that goes along with your laziness conversation, Kev. I feel like, right, this is just my personal opinion, but I feel like when most people, another lazy response I hear a lot is outside of like the oppressors or the system that just can't be beat, is the family curses or generational curses. That's laziness, bro. Like I've been saying that for years. That's pure and utter lazy BS, bro. The fact that y'all can all acknowledge as a family that y'all have been making this mistake over and over and over for generations means that all y'all were just too lazy to change. That's all I hear when I hear generational curse. It means that y'all just didn't take the time for any. Y'all all saw the mistake happening, but nobody took the time to change their efforts or try to like do something different. Yeah, and I remember this guy he was addressing the way he speaks to his son. It was a TikTok I seen about a guy addressing the way he speaks to his autistic son, and people were so astonished by the way he was talking to him. He was like, "Bro, he's like, y'all think because it's really because y'all lazy." He said, "A lot of y'all lazy and don't take the time to think about the dumb stuff that y'all blame on generational curses or systems or whatever." He said, "But a lot of the times, like you said, Kevin, it's up to you, your individual self, to make that change." And when people are like, "Oh, I broke my family generational curse," no, you didn't. You just chose better, and the rest of your family just decided all them years before not to choose better. I mean, I get you could pat yourself on the back, but really, it's just like I said, you just decided to do what everybody else wouldn't do.
But generational curses is learned behavior that's passed on and that's passed on, that's passed on. Just like where they keep bringing up oppressors. Oppressors was someone who didn't do anything fair because they had their one-sided way of how they viewed things, and that was how the world was supposed to go. And they use tactics as fear or God and religion and different things like that to control people, to oppress them, to believe, or basically control them to make them go the way that you want them to go.
But even with learned behavior, there's still a choice involved.
But if you're doing something and it's a learned behavior from generation, and you've been brought up from this auntie or that cousin or that mother or that grandma, regardless if you learn different things, of course you're going to learn different things and you might implement that in your life or you might not. But that doesn't mean that you're still not going to go on to do certain things, because we still have cookouts and barbecues, and that's a generational thing.
But what does that? What does that have to do with though? Like
Because you said generational curses it's a learned behavior that is passed on.
I learned to call
No,
it.
no, it's not. But no,
It's called
generational curses isn't learned behavior. It's habitual behavior,
I
which
call
means
it.
that you guys are actively doing it. It doesn't mean it's not just learned.
Habitual is something that you just do over and over again repeatedly.
How could it be a generational curse?
I
It's
think
not
the word that I learned is really called generational habits.
There we go. It's habitual. There you go. You just said
I'd rather him say habits, because habits is something that you can break.
Yeah, you can break
A
it.
curse is something that you feel like you got to figure out, or a habit is something that you could actually break.
A curse
curse sounds
basically
too mystical.
Yeah, it's something that it make it seem like that you have no control over, basically.
Yeah, it's an excuse.
And I can see a non-accountable person actually saying some stuff like that. Well, it's just a curse, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, this is something that you done learned, and y'all done learned this and continue this.
The craziest part is saying it's like I got a mental illness, a disease, or whatever, a curse, means you were diagnosed or you are aware. So in your grown adult awareness, you do nothing to change it after stating it. Interesting.
Facts. That's what I'm trying to say. If it can be acknowledged, it can be changed, and there's no excuse if you can acknowledge it.
But you have to be shown something different, or you have to go outside the box. Some people don't. Some people have that opportunity, and then some people don't. So they go off of what they know and what they learn, and then you got some people who have branched off or have gone through things to make them realize or understand or see things in a different light, and they either could take that and learn from it and implement it and change that, or they don't. And you know when you're tired, or you know when something that you're doing is not right, and you're not living right because you're tired. You get tired of it. And maybe sometimes we can't just shut the young generation down because they are our future. Sometimes we got to hear them out, because me growing up, I was always taught kids are seen and not heard.
I actually see the reason why we should have been seen and not heard. We
And
got
that's
put in
what
too many
I feel like
grown ass
sometimes that's the
situations.
problem with the younger generation. We think that they got to be seen and not heard because we feel like they've been disrespectful, but
I would
maybe
actually
they
argue
don't know
this.
how to
We got
express
put in
themselves.
too many grown situations early. We got put in too many grown adult situations. Don't get me wrong. I won't deny that we have to excel mentally quicker because of the technology and advances. But we still put kids in too many grown ass situations, making them our damn friends. That was the last generation's curse. We friended the hell out of most of the kids. I ain't got kids until I was married. I'm not married and I don't have kids. But we friended their ass. And now that we their best friends, even though I could be their parent and we can be friendly, is a difference. We became their friends. Now they're in our business. And they acting the same, talking
And a
the
lot of
same.
they don't know what authority is no more, for real.
Have
That's been missing.
no understanding of the hierarchy
That's
of
why they
authority.
could
Thank you,
talk
Kev.
back to their parents and all this other stuff.
Can anybody see
But
that
they pay
video
for it
of?
later. They pay for a lot of parents that do that pay for that junk later. So
Did anybody see the videos of the? There's been recently. There's like a trend going on where elementary school teachers are sharing what the students are sharing with them, as far as like just random questions, their curiosity, things they're interested in. Oh God, it's horrible. You guys should check that out sometime and see what these kids are being exposed to.
I mean, we just left
The
the school.
questions
We
they ask
just got off
crazy.
Teacher Bay. I'm still trying to re-enroll right now.
I didn't even care about her, bro. That was just like I felt like we've been seeing that, like, and she was just promoting it, so like it was easily addressed because she was promoting herself like that. But we've been seeing that. I feel like that's something that should have been addressed.
I
First
seen
thing, like
thick
I said,
teachers. I ain't
these
seen
kids
thick
are
teachers try
learning
to
from the internet.
accentuate it.
Right? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But
because she
like if
just
you
want attention.
hear what
There's a
these kids
time
are
and
learning on
place
the
for
internet,
everything.
it's crazy. That's what I'm saying.
Which is
She did that
fine.
on
That's
purpose.
what
Like
you
she wanted
can't
people to follow
control.
her.
Right. That's the part I was calling out. You can't control what they find out on their own without you. But don't help. I'm like, damn, and then you ain't even covering your tracks. I can find your account that damn quick. Jimmy over here gonna find it in 5 minutes. Boy, shoot. Where your
It's
teacher
like
class
that,
at? I'm
and
still trying to re-enroll.
but I think people took more time with their children to understand what their children are involved in than you would. Like I mean, like that game that kids play, that Roblox game. That's a terrible game to allow your children just to be on, just like unsupervised. But people don't know that unless they've actually done the research to see what the game's about, see what the kids can get access to from the game, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I think that goes to whoever was speaking before, because I can't look at the screen, but that was saying that some people they learn certain things, and you got to show them, I guess, something else. Some of these kids are seeing things because their parents aren't there, and that's where they're learning some of this stuff from. At least I see. At least that's what I
I'm saying
believe.
it right there.
Because I
The
feel like
parents
parenting
right
is kind
there.
of.
We putting these kids in too many adult ass situations. I'm talking about the parents that's there too. Our
I
last
think we should
generation.
let these kids on the internet low key.
Yeah.
So there was like
That's
a
what I'm saying.
age
because
restriction,
every
like
parent think they know how to parent as soon as they become a parent. That'd be the issue.
that. Hey, I ain't gonna cap. That is an issue.
But there's no rule book to being a parent, and then with the world changing how it's changing, you have to evolve yourself, and then sometimes you gotta evolve your kids too. Like you can still show them things as a kid, but then sometimes you gotta give them a little knowledge and a little street knowledge too, because as a parent you know that you're not going to always be there, and you gotta know that you don't want them to be influenced by the internet, Roblox, their friends, gang members, whatever the case may be. So you sometimes you gotta teach them things that you may say that's grown-up things, but you gotta bring them in that world a little bit for them to be able to be out here in this world, because the world is different, and that's a part of evolving.
When you grow up, yeah, I think that's true.
That's a part of evolving. Things are going to change, so therefore parenting skills are going to change, because you have to make sure your kids know what's going on. Just like he said, teacher babe. Okay, she's dressing like that in school. She wants attention. There's a time and a place for everything. Some people say that she's okay, and some people say that she's not. And that's the world though that we live in, because she feel like she's not doing nothing wrong. But
I
at the
think
same
on
but at the
top of that
same
too,
time, what is she teaching?
nothing. That's what I was about to say.
What
See,
is she
that's what
teaching our
somebody
kids?
exposed it. She can't even
Putting
write
capital
proper
letters
sentences.
putting
Yeah,
capital letters in
exactly.
random places, not in the beginning of the sentence.
Word.
They don't have the name, and they are not the title of something. They're capital letters on the word it and the. That's what she's teaching. But
Literally.
go ahead.
Yes. I'm about to say that, and somebody already pointed that one out too. Stop staring at her dress. Pay attention to what she's writing on the board in all these videos.
Was so focused on the ass,
Garbage.
I missed the letters. I was like, God, oh shit, she spelled that wrong.
That's crazy.
That's funny.
Because the teachers that I grew up with, you should have seen what they wore, because they was too busy grading papers, dealing with defiant kids in the class all day. They didn't have time to really get dressed like that.
Nor were they that young, because most of the teachers nowadays are a lot younger than any of my teachers I ever had. I'm not even that old.
Yeah.
I'm about to be
Right.
28 this month, and I never had a teacher under 30. I never seen a teacher under 30 in
Even if
all my
Mrs. Johnson was
schooling.
built, she still tried her best to put a crop duster, a cardigan, something to contain that
All
ass.
right,
And she
y'all. We
could
got
not.
only got an hour left on this thing, so we probably gonna try to go through this next one. Hold on, I think my baby look like you're seeing you on mute.
No, you doing your thing, babe.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about what makes something cool or lame. Let's start with I'm gonna give everybody a minute real quick. I want to try to run through this because yes, we only got an hour. I'm gonna try to get off this thing. Take me a little break. So let's start with chocolate.
Hey, I'm over here listening to y'all and cleaning up. So, what makes something lame or cool? I think that's a hard one. I think anything considered lame to me, that's the easiest one for me to do, would be anything that you're doing that's hurting somebody else. Like, if you're doing something and the end result is going to be somebody else is going to be affected negatively, that's lame to me. To me, what's cool is any kind of innovation. Learning is cool to me, but I'm a little bit of a nerd. So, because, and the reason I say that's cool to me, because when you're learning, you get, more skilled, more knowledge, more perspective, and you're able to, be in more conversations, learn, see new things, stuff like that. I think that's cool, but everybody thinks different things are cool and lame, but you're lame if you're hurting people purposely. Bye.
Okay. Sean, what you got? What's lame and
Well,
what's cool? You.
well, shit, nigga, everything I do is cool to the motherfucker. So shit, I don't believe anything I do is lame. I think the person makes the shit lame and cool. So to me, I don't think I do no goddamn shit that's lame. To be honest with you, so I don't even know how to address this motherfucker. All I need is 10 seconds. That's it.
All right. Kim, welcome to the live.
Hi, hello.
Good, I'm good. So I'm gonna say, what makes something lame or cool?
What makes something lame or cool? I think it depends on the audience and like what they value, whether they'll find it lame or cool. But I think influential people have the ability to make things that would ordinarily be seen as lame suddenly cool. So it depends on the person who's starting the trend and also the audience and how much they value that thing.
Okay. All right. Professor, what you got for me? What makes something lame or cool?
Simple social opinion. Society pretty much sets that. It's also intention too, because you can, just like the young lady who has a chocolate, everything she named in certain areas, lame as hell. I can relate to that. Just trying to be straight laced time, study, do what the fuck you're supposed to do. Actually, don't have none of the negative behaviors or inner connotations, because you're just too vanilla, can be lame. But that's just because of someone else's opinion in that environment. It's actually pretty cool as hell in a different environment, or generally, because that's what you would think it was general. But it's really just the environment, the social standard, and the trend. Because if you put a certain person in that position, it ain't even lame nor cool. It ain't even lame no more. Prince got away with assless chaps. No other man on this planet will be able to get away with that and still be okay. But he can. It's cool for him. It'd be lame to me.
All right. Shawnee, what you have for me? Dang, this thing got in the way.
I think what makes somebody lame or cool is the perspective of one person. Like everybody's not going to accept what another person do and say it's cool or say it's lame. Everyone's going to have their own perspective. So you got to be able to understand that. And then you take it in for what you take it in, and then you put that back out. So it's all about, to me, lame and cool is all about what a person feels and what they feel like is going to be okay to them. It's all about perspective, to me.
Okay, perspectives. All right. Kurt, what you got for me?
I'll try not to be long-winded. I'm gonna say
You
intent,
gotta worry about that. We got some control right
popularity.
here.
Oh shit. Intent, popularity to address the social, and I would say, I guess I'll say intent and popularity, because I feel like on a lower standard, like on a person-to-person basis, we'll judge somebody based off, like I said, their intent, or maybe something they've done to contextualize, the intent that they had behind their actions or whatever they've done. As far as on like a higher plane, like socially, I think popularity rules that. So if you got enough influence, enough money, enough numbers, they can make literally anything they want to be cool, or make anything they want lame. I mean, we've seen it with those Serial Unalive docu series. They made that quote unquote cool. You saw how people reacted to that, but we all know unaliving isn't cool. Like he said, they made being a bookworm, being hard on your studies, they made that seem lame back in the day. But we see how those people fare now.
All right. Oh, go
I
ahead,
was
babe.
gonna say Cece.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what makes something lame or cool? I think it's
Oh, I was
I
already trying
think
to adjust this stuff.
I see you did a
That was
pause.
funny.
She ain't even saying nothing.
I know.
I'm
I
just
was over there
playing.
trying to fix the
That's
timer in
lame.
that joke.
I'm like, what did I say? Yay!
She breathed. There it goes. Like, but
But I I think it is a matter of perspective. For me, or for me personally, if I had to put my personal on it, I think the music this day and age is lame. I don't think it's cool. I think the way that they have the kids dressing, young adults too, I think it's lame. I don't think it's cool. The attitude some of the younger generation these days is lame, not cool. But yeah, I see everyone just flows with it. I'm not everyone, but I see a lot of people flows with it. The masses, they say it's cool, it's lame. These kids are expressing themselves. They're doing all so well, and I'm like lame and disrespectful. But yeah, that's my thought about it. Hope that was down the right alley. I'm sorry, I always say hope and I think, but anyways, I think y'all got me.
baby, what you got for me?
Baby girl. I think that's cool. Baby
Y'all lame.
Baby
girl.
Somebody that hate
girl.
and say
That
y'all
song is
lame.
lame.
As a
Baby
fact.
girl, lame.
Yo.
Man.
Yeah, so what makes something cool? I think Big Kurt pretty much wrapped it up. It's like it's the amount of influence you have. Like anything can become cool. Anything can be turned into lame. It's about convincing other people that it's cool or lame. Like even when we look at the man with the mustache. You know what I'm saying? How the hell did he convince all those dummies that was cool to do. If you have the ability to convince people, you can really, the world is kind of your oyster. Because people are just like, they are mindless. Majority people are looking for someone to lead them. And that's why, like, other people who are leaders and who are not using their ability to look outside the box, their ability to make change, you know what I'm saying, their ability to have influence and using it for good. That's why those people are so important in speaking up, because if we allow it, the other people are gonna want to make some crazy things cool. I've seen people try to make pedophilia cool. Yes.
Oh, you can say that now on TikTok?
Oh, my bad.
I was like,
My
yo,
bad. Drop me now.
Lame.
Yo.
lame. Let me stop.
Lame ass nigga.
Hey, can I say something, Rachel, real quick? I don't want to interrupt, but I like what you said about the leader part. I think that's low key an even better way to summarize it. Leaders get to pick what's cool. They get to pick what's cool and what's lame. The followers, what followers are doing, it's almost always deemed lame because the leaders got the influence. The leaders get to command the group. That's the one who gets the chief gets to command the Indians. Everything the Indians doing is gonna look lame, but when the chief do it, it's cool. And that could be in any facet. That could be in fashion. That could be like we talk about in politics. That could be anything. The leaders of those things are what decide what's cool and what's lame.
Yup.
Matter of fact, I use this example every time in my bar. I use 3 people. There's one man on this planet that y'all in history that y'all let get away wearing a nose ring that nobody questioned. That was Tupac. That was Tupac.
You didn't even have to say
Nobody
the name.
questioned that man, and y'all knew it, right? Every other man after that, you at least get the question. I ain't arguing that.
That's true.
Next,
But
there's one man on this.
I still question him though. You know.
What
Fair
about
enough.
Prince?
All right,
What about Prince?
I was about to get there. That was my
No,
third person. Let me build it up. Let me build it up. I got you.
Go
I'm going right there. Next person, number 2. Y'all let this man get away with leotard, leather pants, curly hair, didn't say nothing for 10 minutes, and everybody, they mama and they daddy passed out. Michael. Question if you want, but most didn't.
Now you done took it too far.
I knew that was gonna
Hold
get
on,
home
Michael,
right
my
there.
dude.
She don't
Michael,
like
my
nobody
dude.
talking
I
about
am
Michael.
not attacking Mike. Mike is my dude. I will defend him to the day I'm gone. But now, next, Prince.
Looking at
Y'all let this man get away with assless chaps, Chelsea boots, and mascara.
and
And
let
most
him get
women
away with
still do.
grabbing his nuts in front of everybody and nobody quit.
Michael too. But that was anyway. That's like a statement. Anyway, y'all ain't questioned not a damn thing. Now, would I advise any man to follow that? Hell no. Because even if it was cool to him, it ain't gonna be cool to your ass. Question.
But that was their
Simple.
perspective and their attitude towards that. That was their own opinion, their own attitude towards that though.
Nah, but also though they're entertainers. Like I feel like this is where we are going kind of wrong in society. Is like we don't know how to separate the two. People out here are trying to be superstars and entertainers in their regular life, like just wearing butt naked stuff in regular day. Those people, they love going outside the box to just like shock people. That's literally their job. They are entertainers. They're gonna do weird stuff and be able to get away with it. You walking around in a bubble skirt is not the same.
So why do they
No, we
get
got.
on? If that's
And
the
that's
case,
cool,
let
but
me say this though, real
he
quick
said
though, because
Tupac
what is
had a
the difference?
piercing. But
What's
his
the difference?
demeanor didn't come off as gay at all. With Prince, he gave that oppression to where you might have want to judge him. Could he be or could he not? Tupac
I
might have had that nose ring, but he didn't give off the impression that he was gay at all.
I believe. Look. I believe it's a level of respect people have for people though. So it's the thing is that, and that come back to like with the bias thing because like. And we gonna talk about all entertainers, right? Because they all entertainers, though. So I'm looking like, what's the difference between Young Thug and Michael Jackson? You know, or not even Michael Jackson. We can say Michael Jackson and because
I was just
They
about to say Young Thug.
yeah,
Yeah, good
yeah,
one. Young
so
Thug.
Young Thug wear that tight
Michael
stuff, and
and
we question him all the time.
Not
We
just
say,
tight stuff,
no,
well, not
dress.
Michael
on little
Dress
Jackson
and
was
wear
an
naked.
entertainer, and
or
they put
little
that
Uzi.
rumor out about him. But then Young
Or,
Thug is out here wearing
I'm trying to get somewhere real quick.
tight
A little
jeans
Uzi Vert.
and tight shirts and showing and belly shirts. That's gonna make
I
you question
He
him
no,
wore
I
like we
believe
question
it's the
Prince.
he wore
like I said, I believe it's the level. No, because if Michael Jackson was to wear a belly skirt, I mean a belly shirt, they wouldn't have been getting on his head. They would have loved it anyway.
When did you
So
ever see Michael Jackson dressed like that?
he can
And
do
you
that.
had
He
to
can get
question
away
it.
with that. He literally can't get away with that. I know it because it's just about respect. Just like
Well, that now then them
if
rumors
Tupac
gonna
was
get
to
brought
do it,
back
they
up, and
was
then we might question that.
no, I don't
And
think
still
so.
gonna buy the album tomorrow.
Kev,
Michael could have got
Kev,
away
are you
with it.
trying to fin- I don't know if you're trying to
I
finish
ain't
your
find out
point, but I'm
about
trying to
research of the year.
understand, but I can
boy.
get cut off.
I talked about the right thing at the right time. That's all that happened though. But the thing is, I think what's the difference is the level of respect they have for people. That's all it really is though, because they all do the exact same thing. Like they want to be outside the box. They want to be different. I done seen people question, what's that dude, Russell Westbrook? That's one of my boys too. You know what I'm saying? But they question him, why he got a dress on? Why he got it that? You know, so. It's just a level of respect. It's majority of people do respect Prince and Michael Jackson and all that other stuff and Tupac, right? They looked as icons. So you have to be on an iconic level before. So we know that Uzi Vert and all them not icons. So we're not going to question that. Or Tupac, all them they are. I mean, they is icons. So that's just what it is, though. That's why people get away. That's what's happening on this app now, right? People get away with certain things. If they got a big name, they're gonna let them slide. But if it's somebody that was a stranger that did the same thing as a big name, they'd be on their neck. You know what I'm saying? It's just biases. That's all that really is.
Because Kevin Gates is out here wearing tight jeans and everything, but he'll let you know off the rip
Hey,
about his
mom, I see
respect.
your mom slipped up in here, so y'all watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Don't say no cuss words.
About his
Yeah, go ahead.
about his respect, he gonna handle that. He ain't even gonna let you come at him sideways. And that feel like that was the same thing with Tupac. He might have had that nose ring, but you gonna know you that like you said respect. You gonna know how to come at him because you're not gonna come at him sideways. And if you come at him sideways, you gotta know what comes after that. And sometimes that could be fear or whatever the case may be of how you present your respect. Because a lot of respect is presented by fear. A
I
lot
got
of
a
people who are
flower.
respected, they fear them. Tupac said, "I'll kill you."
But Kevin Gates.
You gotta
They
say
made fun of him
unalive.
like Gates.
Yeah, but the thing is though, like
They
that's
made fun of him just like Gates. Ain't nobody worried about
it's a
actually control. He
because the thing is,
interfered with him. I remember Will
He got
Smith
that
saying in
one
an interview
bird
he was too
tearing them
scared to
up.
even address him.
yeah. That's the thing though. Like
Oh
I
my
wouldn't
bad.
compare like Uzi Vert and Young Thug to like Prince only because I don't think they were accepted though. Like Uzi Vert and Young Thug, like they not beat people. They still think that they are. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. You proving my point. Thank
Part
you.
of the
I
rainbow.
love that.
Oh, they're part of the rainbow community.
Well, those two gentlemen started off a certain way and then started to flip and or to started to conform. Prince has
Made us
always
question
been
him.
who the heck he was.
I
Which
mean,
makes
Michael
me
Jackson
We
question
changed
him.
though.
which we questioned in the beginning. But when you
He
knew
changed
that's
his
who the heck
skin.
he
He changed the
was,
way
you
he
stopped
dressed.
questioning. Right, because we questioned if he had vitiligo. I'm like, what is vitiligo?
And he changed a
I'm the
lot
darkest person.
though. So
Right, I'm the
Oh,
darkest person in
Michael?
the room. I'm trying to
yes.
catch what's that at that time. Now, I love my skin. But anyway, yeah. Matter of fact, the glasses I'm wearing. If I don't got no influence to some people, it looks lame, quirky, or whatever. I even got the librarian chain on it. Right now, I probably don't have it around my neck because I just didn't put it around it. But in that same aspect, it's gonna be looked at that way just because of my own influence.
Now, okay. Now here's the thing though. Now, Michael Jackson's outfits were never cool. It's still no. People wore them to imitate. People wore them to entertain. But how many people did you see with long socks on? Like who would wear that on a daily?
The
We
jacket
pick
was
and
Everybody,
chose.
iconic
We
though.
pick it.
I
We
seen
pick
niggas
and
wearing
chose
the
because
Be
jacket.
that
honest.
jacket and that hat.
No,
That
be
jacket and
honest.
that
Yeah, I was
hat.
about to say
No,
I
I'm
seen
talking.
niggas in that jacket.
Yeah, the jacket, but that's a jacket. Like everybody got a jacket. Like, but I'm talking about you're talking about him making something that looks lame into something that's
That's the
cool.
one.
I'm sorry. he was not able to make his outfit look cool. I don't care what y'all say.
I
It
don't think
only no,
But
it
he was
only
also an
fits. It
entertainer
only
What
though.
about the
fits for
pennies? What about the
exactly.
pennies?
That's what I'm saying. Entertainers are able to get away with a lot of this stuff because they are entertaining. They are presenting.
Depend on the type of entertainer.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, just because we have respect for them, I wouldn't say that automatically they can make that look cool. Like, I'm sorry, but Michael could not make that outfit look cool.
We couldn't
But
afford
Chris
half the shit
could,
he was
because like you
buying
said,
anyway.
respect. Chris came off the rip of how he was and how he was going to be out here and how he was going to present himself, and we didn't have nothing to. We couldn't do nothing with that but respect it because he came off the rip with it.
Yeah, we respect him.
He didn't switch up like he said. Young Thug, he came off rapping, doing gangster stuff, but then we seen him dressing funny. Oh no, we're questioning you.
But Michael Jackson did switch. That's what we was talking about Michael Jackson for. He done changed his
Wait,
nose. He done changed all type
white
of
suit
stuff.
he had on?
We was
Come on,
questioning
man.
that.
He didn't go feminine though.
Yeah, we was questioning that part. Like, all right, you got some things you're struggling with. We saw, because we was also dealing with the whole colorism thing ourselves, but none of us had the money or the option to change it. Like, we looked and thought he did. Like,
But
sir,
he did have
hey.
vitiligo.
Right, we didn't believe it at first. Most of us.
What about that play part?
I know. Yeah, but that's what I'm
In his
saying
house.
though. If he had, I think it's just different between somebody who is a influential like speaker and somebody who is an entertainer. Like, I think influential speakers, they can convince people to do things. Yeah, but like more, but yeah, because like I'm telling you, look at some of the artists.
Nas X.
Huh?
When Nas X, everybody want to dress like Nas X after a while. Nail polish and all this other stuff.
Wait, what are you saying? I'm confused.
Nas X, they do wearing bonnets and now they painting nails black and doing all the extra stuff. Like,
Wait, you're saying Little Nas X?
I wouldn't say he started those trends or nothing like that, but he was just going in that alignment.
Yeah, it was like,
yeah, that was
because
obviously
Young Thug made a pearl necklace cool too.
What?
Yeah, not necessarily. I didn't think it was cool, but they tried to make the shit cool.
Oh hell, that's not
Watch
cool.
your mouth, man.
Did he send like a
Oh,
art
sorry,
thing to
Yeah,
like
you-
the NBA young boy? He sent him like a I love you chain.
As an
Young Thug, he sent NBA young boy I
it's-
love you
it's
chain.
cool
Like,
'cause it's
I'm just
different.
Oh
saying.
Lord Jesus.
I'm just saying, back in the days, right? Like, I don't know. I feel like when it came to like how people looked and what they used to entertain, I feel like people understood they were entertainers. But I feel like nowadays everyone wants to emulate, to be entertainers outside in real life, and that's just weird.
Like, it's weird. Like, everybody trying to be like
Yeah.
Beyonce or trying to be like Sexy Red and the City Girls. Like, what the hell?
Exactly.
Hey,
Everybody wants to. I
do you
wanted to be
think that-
50 one time, 50 Cent, but then so.
To me, I think that goes back to what, like, I don't know about the cool and lame shit. Like, I don't know, because I think for the most part, I think I hear like people have a problem with adjusting
Yeah, my
to
mama.
times and changes, right? Because if you want to talk about, I heard earlier was somebody talking about how teachers wore back then compared to the teachers now. Okay, if you want to go that route, what men was wearing goddamn tank tops, goddamn bell bottoms, goddamn tight ass jeans, and what they wearing now, and that was considered masculine back then. So I mean, if masculinity have changed in 30 or 40 years, then I think it's best to just you get to dictate what you want something to be lame or cool. Nobody else outside of it, because if that's the case, shit is gonna always change. Are you gonna stay true to yourself, authentic, or are you gonna just adjust to what time period and shit? Because at one point that shit was masculine. Niggas wearing tight ass jeans. That wasn't no celebrity type shit. That was most people at that time. Tight ass jeans, goddamn bell bottoms. Some men were goddamn wearing
Like
wigs.
big T-shirts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That was an era.
But
Yeah.
back in the day, men wore suits that were tailor fit, so it might have looked tight, but it was tailor fit
No,
to their
that's
body.
I didn't say nothing about no suits. No, Kel, that's what I was talking about earlier about the host thing, right? I ain't say nothing about no suits. I'm saying clothes, like the tight jeans, the tank tops. Now tank tops are coming back for men. At one point, men were wearing tank tops and tight ass jeans and shit back in the day. Now these young kids are wearing these tank top shirt crop tops. What they call them? crop tops where they damn near show their belly button and shit. These are grown men that's wearing this shit now.
Where I'm at, hell no.
Okay, so I just looked it up, right? So, the thing is, like, they were wearing crop tops. It's kind of like football players; they still wear them. It's like it was mostly worn by
Don't throw football up in there.
No, it was mostly no. The point was to show off your physique, and it was about like being athletic or whatever like that. But
Zeke,
I mean, that
Zeke.
was
It's hot as hell and playing football in them damn equipment.
I mean, but I still never crop top, bro, when I played football. Like I said, most of the dudes I knew, they were only
I
doing it
get
because
it.
Zeke. There was a couple famous football players, kind of like we was talking about, influential people. You know what I'm saying? Zeke was making it look like crop tops supposed to be the thing. That's why all them
And let's be
little dudes
fair,
that be saying he was doing it.
they had limited
Nobody had a
material
crop top
back in the
before that.
day. They had
But Dwayne
terrible
Wade was
So
bigger,
what
and
about
and
body
and they had
armor?
limited
Because body
material.
armor, where people who wear body armor, they wear them tight shirts that show off your physique, I guess.
Hey, dude.
body armor.
What
I'm
50
a
Cent
personal
made that
trainer. I was just being
famous.
comfortable and
Body armor
expressing
supposed to be
myself.
tight.
My boy 50 made that famous. The body armor with the tank top or
So,
He
the
made the tank
t-shirt.
top too because he had his own little tank top and it was ugly. But everybody was wearing it
so
though.
this the part I'm
Everybody still
confused.
rocking it.
White beaters too. They were tight.
hold on, y'all. Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that this is where I feel like I'm trying to follow them with the conversation, but if someone says something, then like, okay, I feel like I just heard an excuse for why men were wearing what they was wearing back then. I don't care the reason why they was wearing it. I'm saying that it was a thing and it wasn't considered soft or gay. I'm saying in today's time, if you were to try that shit now as men, it would be looked at as if you're a little feminine, soft, or you might just be gay. So I'm saying even throughout those times, things have changed as far as what men did that's acceptable back then compared to now.
I think it go back to what Rachel was saying, because everybody wasn't wearing Michael Jackson clothes. He only got away with that. It wasn't popular. The clothes wasn't popular though. But because he was so respected, he got away with it. That's why I say I believe it's just a base of respect. Because Tupac get away with wearing a nose ring. We was talking about them. You don't see every man wearing a nose ring.
But that
You know what I'm
was,
saying?
but what I'm saying was normal amongst the black community in the
I get
70s.
you. You talking about bell bottoms and all that other stuff. I
Yeah,
think
that
we
was
were just
normal.
talking about the biases or of people that get away with stuff. Just like that's why I compared Lil Uzi Vert, because he's not at that level of freaking Michael Jackson and them. So if he wears some stuff, we're gonna question him like, is he this or something like that or whatever? We already gonna be like, okay, everybody love. Go ahead.
I said, but they questioned Michael. Like, no one is above
By
being
him touching kids, I get you on that part
No,
though.
not
That's
just touching kids. Before that, like everybody, even when he was with Lisa Presley, like all the women he was with, they didn't care. They was like, no way, he's rainbow.
okay. That's probably a
But you gotta look
small
at the women
handful.
he was with too.
Yeah,
But
I don't think that they got it to the level that Uzi Vert and Lil Young Thug getting. I don't think it's to that level
I don't know if you watched the documentary on Michael Jackson. Yeah, he absolutely got that. That's really the main reason why they. Yeah. Anyways,
I think more girls is into him than anything.
And plus, he had that soft ass voice too, so you got to add that on.
like majority people. It was like majority people thought he was part of the rainbow.
Okay, I got you then. I got you.
Oh, but I was gonna.
So that mean they must have thought that Tupac was that then too, because he wore a nose ring.
No, but
something like that.
the Tupac. Okay, here's the thing. I think that because nobody was wearing that, right? So I think same like the bonnet, right? They started realizing that certain people behaved certain ways and started linking certain attire or things to a way of being, right? So it's kind of like, let's be honest, there were a lot of down low men, right, that started coming about, where it's like it could be there was like realizing that some of these men who, if they dress that way, and I feel like that's part of the cultural shift. It's like thinking that a man wearing a crop top is probably linked to them being down low. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like that was something they started experiencing, and then they just didn't want to wear crop tops anymore. I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, the
Women,
3 minutes is up. I just thought
women
about
wear
that.
crop
So
tops. So if I see a man wearing a crop top, yeah, I'm going to question that because women wear crop tops to show off our belly. So if I see a man wearing a crop top, I'm going to be like, we wear that to show off our belly. So why are you wearing that when you could wear a tight fitted body armor or a tight fitted beater to do the same thing? And yeah, maybe Tupac did have that piercing, but then nobody start saying that until now today. Back then, no one questioned that.
Until there was plenty of men who were down low with piercings. But
And
that's what I'm saying. Look,
you can wear skinny
look,
jeans, but it's like how
look.
tight are those skinny jeans that you got on though?
And then
What
also
we
like the era of the crop top, it started in the 70s, right? It was like what was that thing called? Like sexual liberation time, and everybody was just doing all types of wild stuff. And I'm telling you, I don't know, for in my opinion, I just feel like people started realizing that it is associated with a certain group. Like men wearing crop tops.
and can we also I feel like we kept saying certain people didn't get questioned, but they did. Everybody got questioned. Everybody did. Maybe not to their face, because maybe people weren't bold enough to question Tupac to his face. 'Cause a lot of people said they were afraid of him because he was known for doing certain things in the streets.
And
So
they
you
had that
couldn't question
respect.
Tupac. No, I wasn't respect to his fear. But I mean, the people that
yeah, some
didn't fear
people
him
did
definitely
have
did
a
call him
higher
out for it.
respect than the next, though. So
He
I don't.
and a couple other people did diss Tupac, and they did accuse him of some things, and that's why they had their little East Coast West Coast thing,
I
and
think.
then but to pretend like he didn't get questioned is crazy though. Like
No,
he
I
wasn't.
think that I don't think nobody was being absolute, but I think that it's different levels of. I don't think they was questioned to the same level. That's what I don't believe. Because, like I said, some people are just way more respected than the others. There's no way we're going to compare Uzi Vert's respect versus Michael Jackson respect, even though they both might have backlash on what they did. It's just two different levels. We just know that. So I'm pretty sure that he got questioned, and probably a few probably thought he was on the other side or whatever. But it's not. I doubt it's a big number as everybody looking at Uzi Vert right now. I doubt it. But let's
Uzi,
just do
that's
this.
totally different because Uzi, he literally behaves. He literally carries a purse. He literally, the way that he walks, like he literally is trolls people. Like Pac only had the nose ring. It wasn't like it was like a stacked up amount of stuff that would be like,
Right.
you
He didn't give you
See-through
room to
shirts were
question
into.
him.
See-through shirts were into. That,
Then
that wasn't like a questionable attire. Where a lot of men wearing see-through shirts.
yeah, I got you though. But yeah, I see what I'm talking about. Like this is a different. There's respect thing. But I say let's do this last one then real quick so I can get it. I don't even really care about that third one for real. So we can do that. But I think the last one, yeah, we can expound big on that for this last 30 minutes. What fear or rejection? What the heck? I meant to put what the heck? What the fear of rejection, what do that look like and what does it cause? So start with you, Perkins. You just got in here. You made me think about even then Biggie y'all done got me on that thing topic again. Then Biggie get a bunch of lyrics he got away with until we got older. Talking about sucking on this and that boy. I bet they respect him so much they ain't even care to even question it. Perkins ain't here? All right. Let's get Kurt, what you got for me? What the fear of rejection, what does that look like and what did it cause? What the heck?
I literally was running back to the truck. All right.
I caught everybody at the wrong time.
You said what fear of rejection? What does that look like?
Yeah,
And
and
what does
what
it
did it
cause?
cause?
I think fear of rejection. What it looks like to me, more often than not, is it comes in many forms, but they're all coping mechanisms. So coping. That's what I typically see when I see people trying to avoid rejection. There's some form of coping, whether it be like the initial prompt suggests, whether it's acceptance. So they'll do things to themselves to make it so they're more acceptable, more palatable to people. For fear of rejection, you guys kind of touched on it with the hair, the clothes, a lot of things. I feel like those are all coping mechanisms to avoid rejection from society. What does it cause? Uh, okay, I feel like I just kind of touched on it already. It causes people to, like I said, dress differently, speak differently, um, even downplay people of the same demographic as them, maybe to boost themselves up. I think it causes infighting. That's what I say it causes, infighting.
Okay. All right. Shiny, what you got?
I think the fear of rejection, it looks like disrespect to certain people because it's like, what? You're rejecting me or you don't want me. So people feel disrespected when you reject them. And it causes people to have insecurity in themselves and make them question themselves and have weaknesses in themselves. Whether you're a man or you're a woman, it makes you question yourself if you're good enough or not. So people say take it as a disrespect, which causes people to feel insecure about themselves.
Okay. Babe, what you got for me?
Oh, the fear of rejection. What does that look like? Yeah, Shawnee said it really good. Like some people perceive it as like disrespect. Um, and what does it cause? It causes more disrespect.
That was funny. Feel like disrespect gonna cause more.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, to not be accepted. I don't know. I gotta think more on that question. But I think Shawnee said it pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say, I guess to add more on this, I would say, what do it look like? I say, reacting to things that don't have nothing to do with you, personalizing general things, basically it's the same thing. Just like if somebody said, men is like this, and then you will see, men that act like this will 9 times out of 10 not get a marriage and maintain it. And then you see men, this one man always got to, no, that's not true, that's not true, stuff like that, because the fear of not being accepted by, women, or this type of women that says that, they become very like defensive and stuff, and then they say, this is the famous word I get from a lot of people that fear rejection is, it's not that bad, it's not that, that's not, it's not that bad, that's not true all the time, or something. I don't know, stuff like that. They usually say stuff like that, though. That's kind of what it looked like from what I see or whatever. What does it cause? I think that, yeah, one of the biggest ones is what my baby said, is more disrespect. They most definitely be very disrespectful, especially because it also started with them getting rejected from that relationship they first got that broke up. I mean, from that breakup, if they was the one that got rejected. So it's just like, they trying to take it out on everybody else, and anybody that remind them of their ex or the situation or the talking points, they get disrespectful. It's the same ones that act like that ain't do nothing wrong, and then all the wrong was done to you or done to them. I mean, so yeah, it causes more problems. It causes hurt people to hurt people. Misery, being on stress pills, unhealthiness, and all that stuff. And then making horrible decisions in life. So rejection is very big, until you realize what are you getting rejected from and why you feel that way towards this rejection and stuff. And then was this rejection very necessary? So, all right. Open panel from here. We could talk about whatever for the last 20 minutes.
I just thought about it like, okay, the Bonnet Crew, yes. Yo, they be straight up disrespectful and defensive. Like, because it's like this rejection from their own race and culture. That's,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like they're not even gonna try to
I
listen.
like what you just said.
Yeah, you like that? Okay.
I like that.
It's funny. I'm gonna
Because
use
I
that
just
one.
noticed it.
I
Huh?
like what Trev said too,
I'm gonna
because
basically
come
use
out
that
as
one.
people that attack technicalities.
It is a bonded team because you got. I seen one live last night with a bunch of girls
I
and
mean,
dudes having a sleepover. They all wearing bonnets.
Wait, say that again?
It was a live with a bunch of girls and dudes wearing bonnets.
Okay, wait, why are they doing that? They was
They,
going to sleep? What?
they were going to sleep and they'll have to say, "Oh, this is not a team. It's not live. We just wear bonnets all day." I'm like, what?
Oh, like outside throughout the day?
Yeah, I got a coworker right now I work with. He wears a bonnet
They
all
trying
day.
to make it a thing. You see, okay, listen. This is the thing. It's
Just like chitlins.
in your attempt to rebel, you're losing yourself. Like, instead of just listening to what people have to say, now you trying to make this a whole damn thing. Like,
It is. It became a thing. I seen a girl on YouTube who had a little girl, maybe 3, maybe 5 years old, wearing a bonnet. 5-year-old.
well, I mean, I'm not saying like wearing a bonnet is horrible. You know what I'm saying? But it's just kind of like,
I'm sorry. I see somebody with a bonnet on. I'm like, to me, back in my mind, you didn't wash up. You didn't wash
I was
your
about to
hair.
say it's obvious you got a bias against bonnets overall. I noticed that, so that's what I noticed. I don't think a bonnet is a bad thing.
See, I'll give you an excuse. Okay, you wearing a bonnet, you gonna get your hair done. Go get your hair done. You need your hair messed up. Go to the hair salon. Cool. Or you might, you just got your hair done. You want to sleep in the bonnet. You sleep in it. Cool. When you wearing it every darn day, and you got your regular hair, you got your lace front. Then on top of that, you got a darn bonnet on top of your head. Back on that, you got some old ass grease on top of that scalp, and that ain't been cleaned off yet.
Boy, they be patting the fuck out your bonnets.
And then you want to live under a dude's nose.
They profile bonnets.
They got designs, logos on it.
They profiled it. Y'all made it. Y'all made bonnets. Y'all made bonnets ghetto.
But the thing is, though, everything is a profile. Literally, everything is a profile. Like, black people are not the only people getting profiled. Like, white tee people in a trench coat, I'm sure they profiled.
Yeah, you gonna think that they're gonna do something.
Yeah, so like, why are we acting like, no, you shouldn't judge me? Acting like majority of the people that be wearing bonnets outside all the damn time ain't ready to fight.
And you ever peep too? We're the only ones that be like, I ain't gonna say we're the only ones, but we really are. We're the only demographic that be like completely pissed, completely insulted by the stereotypes that are presented to us. But when other people get hit with them, like I just saw a YT girl
Exactly, we
addressing
hypocrites.
the whole, they don't wash properly thing, and she admitted to it. She admitted she didn't wash properly until she was like 18. But she was like, "Hey, that's white people for you. Excuse me, white people
See,
for
but the
you."
thing is like, why do
They
we
didn't
get
get mad.
mad? We get mad at stereotypes like it don't have no type of truth to it or something. Like they just made it up out of
Right.
nowhere, though. So it's like, this is what I tell people to, like, in order to not be part of the stereotype, just don't do it. That's just that simple. You gotta stand out. We don't think every person that's Asian don't eat rice. You know what I'm saying? We just automatically assume that. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's a big amount, they might still do it. But it's like we do it to one another, but somehow we act like we just the most important because we black. And then we like, oh my, you better never stereotype me. But we do everybody else though. So it's like we gotta be fair. So it's either be part of the stereotype or don't. We take all the good stereotypes. Well, every black man got a slong dong. We don't argue that one, do we? You know what I'm saying? Or we come with all type of stuff. So we always be selective when things don't fit our narrative or whatever. And then we actually add to it at the same time. They say BLK woman got attitudes, and you have an attitude because they said it. So you making it no better. The whole point is
like that ginger dude.
We the most that's ridiculed about it though, and then when not only that we ridiculed about it, they put it because y'all put it out into the world of
what make you think we
life.
the most ridiculed race out here? I think that's what the heck. That's not.
Then
We're not the only ones.
Y'all put it out to everyday life, like you said. Okay, we don't want to wear bonnets, but if we wear our natural hair, y'all say our hair ain't combed, but it could be just a fro, and that's our natural hair. But they made it not okay because y'all made it wrong in our everyday life.
Who is they? Who we trying to impress?
Society.
No, but
yeah, but who is in that society? What community made that bad?
Even our own people.
You trying to impress
like
society?
your hair is not combed.
No, but the thing is though, like, look, we know the difference between a natural hair that somebody did something to and a natural hair that's not
It's been
Nappy,
called
literally. We used
for.
to call that
touched.
nappy. What happened to
That's
calling it nappy?
untouched. Like you want to just wake up and go outside without touching your hair. Like, no, everybody got to touch their hair.
And then also, if you peep, bro, every other demographic that has any stereotypes that hold true or stick to them, they can't really duck them. They don't get as insulted about it. They really don't. They really don't. It doesn't affect them throughout their entire day, the rest of their week. They don't hold on to it because at the end of the day, like Kev said, they just avoid it. So if you're gonna hit me with the, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I was an Asian person, you tried to hit me with something about maybe my eye shape. Most of those people ignore that crap and move on with their day. You can't really hurt them like we get hurt when people insult us with stereotypes. When we get hit with
Exactly.
stereotypes, it ruins the
Mm-hmm.
whole day. We talk about it for like 2-3 weeks. It becomes a big story, but like no other race addresses the stereotypes like we do because they don't
Yep.
care because they're still doing what they're gonna do. They're still moving on with life.
Mm-hmm.
They
They
don't
do
care, and
a
even like
whole
Hispanic
news
people.
report.
Hispanic people get ridiculed all the time for living in massive groups together. You think that ever stopped them? You think they care? No, they still have their community, and they still maintain the same ways of living. They have never let a stereotype stop them from doing
You know
what's
the
most beneficial to them.
You know why it's like that? Because we the ones that still demonize our own kind when it happened though. They don't do that. Because outsiders don't affect them. We really affecting ourselves, and then we blame it on somebody outside of ourselves that affect us. So that's the reason why they can get away with, these critiques and all this other stuff and all these jokes and stuff. But we can't take jokes because we joke on our own self. They don't do that. Like we the main ones that expose ourselves too. You notice that everybody know about our relationship because of us. It ain't them just making it up. Somehow, every time we get mad at a woman or a woman get mad at a man, they come right there on social media. This motherfucking
All
no good
lies,
baby daddy and all this.
facts.
Like, duh, everybody did not have to know our information. They did not have to know that. But we expose ourselves and get mad at what they bring back to us, and they be like, "That ain't true." Well,
Right.
what? You know
They,
what I'm
they
saying?
got whole
So it's
videos of
really
it
our
because you
fault.
seen
No,
the
It's really
image.
our fault. It's our fault.
you
Maybe.
you hit the nail on the head, and I've been waiting for that to be said so long. Them stereotypes exist
We
for
put
a
ourselves out
reason.
there on the street, on one street. We really do.
Oh, hold on, Pumpkin. Sorry, Deacon was trying to finish up. I don't know what he.
Oh no,
Go
I was
ahead.
just saying the host hit the nail on the head. I've been trying to say stuff like that for the longest. Even when it comes to these quote unquote gender wars, we'll say men or women will say, or it happens in other cultures too. They're not putting it on social media like we're doing it. You flip through these things and go look at the lives. It's black men and black women.
Right. And then definitely not going on TV. Now that's TV, all this Zeus Network crap, and then making it even worse by going on televised TV and exacerbating these disgusting behaviors on televised TV. And then, like I said, and people, and then on top of that, like he said, Kev, like you said, we indulge in it. So you can't even be mad at nobody else. Who's watching Now That's TV
Tyler
and Zeus
Perry.
Network? Us.
Tyler
We're the ones
Perry.
watching it. Most other demographics don't even know that crap exists, but we do, and we promote it.
We
It's
promoted.
idiotic. It's stupid.
We promoted, but when we get the same talking points put back on us, then we get mad. Like, hold up, we just got done
Right. And
celebrating it. Now we don't want to celebrate it when it come out somebody else's mouth.
or they
That's
find out they got when when you find out who owns Now That's TV and Zeus Network, then all those idiots that went on there are gonna feel real stupid when it all comes crashing down that it was actually because like you look up the owners and the people in charge, there's definitely intent behind having majority black people acting ignorant on a show dedicated to just ignorance. People don't even think about that. But then again, like I told you, some people want to throw their people under the bus for a check. So, like I said, some people, that's what we're talking about, the acceptance thing. Some people on that shows, on those idiotic shows, are fiending for acceptance. So much so that they don't care about their moral compass, how that is, how detrimental that is to their image or the image of their family members and friends. It doesn't matter because there's money involved. And we try
Little
to pretend
Yachty
we don't
say,
perpetuate stereotypes based off of money. A lot of times we literally perpetuate stereotypes just for a check. We'll go on TV and act a fool and make that stereotype even more solidified for some money. Like he said, Tyler
what,
Perry does it all the time.
what Little Yachty say? I ain't asking nobody's role model. I just want to make my money.
Mm, mm, there you go. And we let it continue and then complain about it after the fact. I wish we got to. I wish I got to touch on the whole
We
lame and
got
cool a
10
little
more
bit more.
minutes, y'all. Y'all better do what y'all gotta do. 10 more minutes, and I'm about it, y'all.
So,
I feel like that lame and cool argument was something we could talk definitely like.
well, go ahead.
I feel like I just like you guys kind of touched on it with the influencers. Definitely, I think outside of just influencers and people of popularity, I forgot one. I feel like it was something I thought of later, but power dynamics. So like your let's just say like your mom, your dad, those are people that heavily influence your life, but they weren't necessarily popular, but they're in a position of authority, which goes back to that whole leaders get to make decide what's cool and lame. And I feel like parents, a lot of family members, people in positions of authority in our lives as children also often decide what's lame or cool based off of their life experiences or what they found success in or whatever. And then like to the one girl that was in here earlier was saying, then you could I guess kind of like point towards like outside influence, learned behavior and stuff like that. But
I,
I feel like that's another
I,
thing we didn't attack is like people in positions of authority, just in general. They
I have
decide
to push
also.
back against you. I find what makes things lame or cool is what's trendy, what's being pushed, and for the quote unquote black community, it's the negative behavior.
I don't disagree. I was just saying that was the point I felt like I had missed earlier. But to your point, yes, that is true. I think it's definitely that too. We attack intent, popularity, and then like I said, I felt like we just didn't get to touch on just people in general that are in positions of authority. Your boss could be somebody that decides what's lame or cool at the workplace. You know what I'm saying? Based off of where he enforces the rules and where he doesn't. You know, certain behaviors are allowed because he's not enforcing it across the board, or maybe he's only enforcing it with certain people. Things like that. Those are also people that did get to decide what's lame or cool. And history books, the winners always got to decide what was lame or cool. That's how it's always worked. Somebody playing Call of Duty in the
That's
background.
why
Who that is?
I think like if you're like a great speaker, has a lot of power.
Facts. Frederick Douglass, one of the most influential speakers that was a black man ever,
I
toured
think
America and Europe as a free man.
so. Before I say that, wait, what do you mean by a great speaker? Because I'm about to say something too though about that.
Oh, about Frederick Douglass?
No, I'm talking about no, what my baby just said.
Yeah, a
Oh,
great
my bad.
speaker, someone with a vision, someone with passion.
Oh, okay. Because I was about to say something different though. Like I think of a speaker sound good, they got a lot of power. Because I know that's the reason why a lot of people get um manipulated, and convinced into certain different things. I know. It's
Yeah,
making them
that's
stop
the
me.
thing though.
Yeah,
They are.
Um,
Oh, dang! I don't know why it's echoing. Hold on one
it
second.
might be me. Except for my headset off.
Oh no, that's the thing though. There are speakers who use their voice for good, and there's other ones who use it for bad to uplift
Yeah,
them. You get what I'm saying? But they are still great speakers.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
uh, I,
They go ahead, Deacon. That was
I
trying to
want to
get to.
push back. There was a time again when that was true, but today people ain't speaking great. It's more or less they just catering to people's feelings. These people
That's what I said.
are
If they sound, that was my point. I was trying to get to. If they sound good, they are very powerful. If you can especially
if you can
articulation. If you can
relate, if you can
yeah.
relate.
And all you gotta do is just say it a certain way. You could be talking trash. You can be not even making no sense, but as you sound good or appeasing to that heart or something like that, I just want to let you know, use some big words and all that stuff. You can get a lot of people off that. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, that's also what we was just talking about. Mustache Man. I'm pretty sure he sounded very convincing, and that's why he got a lot of people to follow what he wanted. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is nowadays. Even with even the politics and all that stuff. People sound good, but they're not talking about nothing. They ain't talking about
That's actually how Frederick
nothing.
Douglass actually won all those YT supporters over was through humor.
I
Humor
get.
is like the great equalizer.
Yeah, I get that they may not really be talking about anything, but they're still great speakers. Like there's just some people that's naturally good at their words. Like
Again, the
I
reason
don't
why I
know
push
who you're
back is that
arguing
let's
with. That
look,
we argue.
let's
I
look
mean,
at this.
no. Let me say this real quick. I'm about to say
no,
we
that's
agree.
not
I
what
don't get
Deacon.
who you're arguing with on that one.
But
That's
Deacon,
weird.
that's not because Deacon. That's not what Deacon is saying. What?
Yeah, what I'm saying is these
Mm.
days you just gotta relate. The reason why let's look at let's take Trump. Okay, let's just take Trump for example. You're just saying what people that say the things that that the majority is really feeling, or even the marginalized groups is really feeling, but not verbalizing. If you can relate to them on that level and say the things that they're thinking, you're going to get a following.
Yeah, but look, but Trump was not the first Republican to be saying the same things that he's saying. That's what I mean. There's
No, what I mean by that is you ain't got to have good words and stuff. You could just listen. He ain't a good speaker, but he could rally up people. You ain't got to be a good speaker to rally up people. You just got to relate.
So you may be talking about like I guess articulation and grammar.
Right. Just rhetoric.
Uh,
You got people on this app alone who
So
get
what I'm
a
saying,
following to speaking rhetoric.
what I'm saying is there has to be something special about you. There has to be something that stands out for them to listen. Because if that was the case, everybody would be famous. Like everybody would listen to them. There's plenty of people saying the exact same thing as you.
I think overall the base of it is just sounding convincing. That's what make you special. So and it ties it to the relating things. It also ties to the special way you may speak. You know, so everybody has a way to speak to certain people to get them. You know, that's just what that is, though. So I think both of them is right. You know, a lot of people do. Yeah, it's both. He's just feeling and affirming their ideology. Right. So we got 3 minutes. Anything y'all wanna close out with something, or y'all wanna just end it with
But I do get what you're saying, Deacon, because back in the days there were actual standards for being a public speaker.
Yeah, it's just different now. I'm not
Yeah, I
denouncing
get
what
what
y'all
you're
saying.
saying. Yeah, and it may be because like I don't know if our intelligence level has gone so far down we don't require. I don't know.
It's in a toilet bowl. It's in the toilet bowl.
Yeah, but hey, Pharaoh Mama, he has a confidence when he speaks. Yeah, that makes people agree with him. Absolutely, like you have to believe. You have to believe in what you say. I don't know. Yeah, there's like a passion behind. That's the thing. It's like some people when they speak, and I'm telling you, I do think it's a gift. When they speak, people listen.
Yeah. Yep. And then sometimes it's what you're saying too. It just depends, I guess, or the way you deliver it, all that. Because it's like, you know, you see some of the people like Charleston, what you call, he got him a little crowd. Charleston
White.
Yes, people like him and people like, you know, Kevin Samuels. He must have caught somebody's attention in some way. Zen, what's the deal? Welcome. You got, I mean, it's just so many different people, and everybody don't got it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I get what my baby's saying is that, you know, it's something special about you that got to stand out to make you different from everybody else. Because if everybody could just do it, they all be known.
It can also be your position. You know what I'm saying? Some people are opportunists. They take advantage of people's situations. So, I mean, if let's just say you're in a predicament where you're in poverty, stricken by poverty, and I come to you with an idea and you've already run out of all ideas, you know what I'm saying? My idea, regardless of how good it sounds, whether it's founded on anything, you might listen because you're just desperate. That's another thing. People have to realize that context matters to why people listen too. If you can, that's like we were all. If I starved everybody in the room, and then you know what I'm saying. At some point now, I have this harebrained scream about how we could do this, jump the fence, do some 007 shit to get some food. Yeah, normally you'd be like, hell no, I'm not listening to you, bro. What kind of shit? But you hungry, so now the idea sounds good because anything to get some food or some money or whatever it is that you might be lacking. If I can speak to something that you're lacking in life, more than likely you'll listen. That's how most people work. That's why even when you say like certain speakers don't have to necessarily be good, well, like he said, they're speaking on things that people aren't trying to verbalize, but they're lacking, or they feel like they're lacking in. Like Trump won because the YT majority felt like they were lacking something, lacking control of something, lacking influence over something. That was the unspoken truth that they had in their hearts. So That's how I feel like he won most people over outside of his normal. Because if people weren't feeling like they were lacking anything, I feel like it wouldn't have been such an easy. I wouldn't say easy, but they wouldn't be so easily swayed. I should say.
Yeah, I don't know. As far as like Trump winning again, in my opinion, I believe that a lot of people they had this they had the Democratic administration for a long time. And so it was kind of like the evil that you know and the evil that you don't know. I think people took a risk. They were like, I mean, we already know what the Democrats are going to do. They've been doing it for years. They continue to do it. So I
Right.
think that at the time that he ran, it was a very good time because, like you said, it was a scarcity mindset. Like, damn, if I don't make this move, if I don't take this chance, there's a possibility that my family is, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these things are going to happen. I don't know whatever's in their heads. But because they know if they went Democratic again, they already knew what was going to happen. So I think they took a chance.
Yeah, he was preaching a lot of basically. I mean, that was kind of like what his campaign was kind of ran on. Don't you want to change? Don't you want something different? And he was running on the whole hyper individual aspect. Like he's not government. He's going to fight for you in the government. He's not gonna expand their power. He's gonna make it so that everybody gets to eat. He definitely ran on
It
the
sound
idea that
convincing.
change was imminent. You know what I'm saying? Especially like you said, when you're used to seeing the same thing over and over and over every election. You know what I'm saying? Whether a Democrat or Republican win, because neither one of them were really making changes. But I mean, but that's to be expected in the bipartisan system. But I mean, that's a different discussion. But yeah, I think that was why he won. It's like you said, the scarcity mindset. And then, and as like I said, as far as the YT population, so I've never heard until Trump ran for the second time about the whole like the white only towns and stuff. Like, come on, bro. Like they were literally talking like they're scared that their race was gonna disappear. You feel me? That
That's why they
mindset
had a
right
lot
there.
of us. Yeah, that's what had
That's
us
why the turnout
vote
was like
against
it.
him because it was a scare. It was only a
Exactly.
scare tactic to not go for him. I noticed everybody that did vote for him, it was more of a scare thing.
Yep.
And the people that voted for
Kamala.
Kamala, it was more of all right, maybe try something new, or she's because she was a woman and all
No,
that stuff.
they were scared. Well, yeah, try something new too, but they were scared of Trump. they were scared of Trump.
Yeah, right. I said the same thing. I just thought about that. The one that went
Yeah, they
against
were
him.
scared
Yeah,
too.
yep.
That's why I said it came at the right time. Everybody was just scared. It's like, okay, shoot. I know I'm scared, but I already know what the Kamala administration is going to bring. It's just going to be another Obama administration. And if you already don't like the Obama administration and don't think they did well, you just going to try for the other side.
Yeah, pretty much that. And then the fact that, Trump was also running on this quote unquote brutal honesty policy where he's going to tell you like it is, even if it sounds terrible. And then she kept getting caught lying, so that was another thing. Do you want honesty, even if it's ugly, or do you want lies wrapped in gift wrap? And that's where I think she lost hers, regardless if she's a woman or anything. Because, even if she wasn't a woman, if we had just based it on just logic, who was more qualified, nobody ever voted for him. But the fact that she kept getting caught lying, Democrats kept getting cauut lying.
And we already
preaching
seen
honesty and Christianity on top of that, religion. He was tying religion to it all. Yeah, it was, like I said, it's a mindset you couldn't really beat. He didn't have to be a good speaker. He attacked just like to be honest, the basis of America. It was built on a lot of racism.
No, majority of politics got it. They could sound convincing, so all of them have to be a good speaker to even get somewhere, though. So that's how the debates work, anyways. Though you got to at least sound convincing to win.
Well, the debates don't get orchestrated like they used to. Back in the day, a debate was you had to come up with a response, and there was the leading response or topic. And then you guys all had to address that. And everybody had to take a turn and address each other's talking points. You had to come up with a rebuttal and refute their talking points to continue the debate. That debate was the most, every debate since like 2016, I ain't gonna say 2016, 2020 been a joke. Like they were literally just jabbing at each other, taking low jabs at each other. There was nothing. They didn't talk about anything.
Yeah,
Like that
when
wasn't
they
even a
called
debate.
the
It was like a weird conversation
yeah
between two
when they
senile
called
old men.
when they called the timer, they would just keep talking.
Right,
There
literally,
was
bro. That's
no
not a debate.
respect.
They weren't even addressing each other's talking points. It was just like Biden would mumble some BS, and then Trump would be like, "Yeah, but you're old. Shut up." Like, yeah, fake news. Like he would just end it like
Yo,
that.
Say attack the person and not the talking point. We were just talking about that yesterday.
right? That's what they did. They sure did. That's what you're
All
old.
right, it's that
Literally.
time.
Oh,
Okay,
time for
my
y'all to head out.
man.
Be
Yes,
easy,
that's
Kev. Be easy, Rachel.
all right,
Have a
Kurt.
great
Good
day.
to see you again. All
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
Mr. Perkins. Bye, baby.
All right, babe.
Talk to you later,
See
my
ya.
love.
Okay,
I'll get
baby.
a room. Go get a room. Goodbye.
I know. I was like, do it go crazy and stuff.
I'm gonna play. This is 2020.
Later.
Start throwing all the emojis in the chat and going crazy. Bunch of eggplants in there and stuff. All right, y'all, man.
All right.